Not sure if anybody's here yet, but hello. Today is Sunday, June the
30th.
something. 30th. Yes, I kept calling it the 29th earlier, and I know now that is wrong. Then I also made plans for June 31st before remembering the 30 days hath whatever thing. I'm like, oh wait, June does not have a 31st. So that
30
threw
days
me
half
off a bit.
September, April,
Yeah,
June, and
April,
November.
June, and November. There's also this one where you count on your knuckles. Did you ever learn that at school?
Yeah, I remember that.
Eh. I guess you have a phone that does that now. I don't know.
My phone does count on my knuckles.
Does that? Well, phones do kind of rely on your fingers. So, this piece in a way. Well, here's a little printout of one I showed y'all last week here at Twitch. I was working on little mini paintings, which are all sold. They all sold like in a minute or whatever, so they're all gone. Sorry about that. Not super sorry, but kind of sorry. I'll paint some more soon. But the little one with the elephant that I was showing off last time was a study. That's why she's called Mini Elephant Friend Study for a larger painting. And today I will be working on the larger painting of it. And this is the one, if you were here listening to me last week, that we would do prints and stuff of. I mean, I did a little print of this one for me to look at while I paint this one to make it kind of look like the little sketch one, but the painting itself, this is the 8x10 that we will be doing prints, etc. of. And I'll be selling this one myself. I think I've showed it off to the Patreon people already, or told them that I would be working on this because I've literally just started this. I've still got my ruler out and I'm looking at my little study. It's not going to be exact. I'm going to change some things. I'm going to make her, if you look at this one, it's kind of like her head is really big to match the elephant's head. I'm going to make her look kind of slightly more normal proportions. My characters tend to have big heads. Yeah, I like how the elephant
Everybody
turned out.
loves that
He's
elephant.
adorable.
Beauty.
Well, I'd done a handful of concept designs with the Bradford Exchange to do little statues and things involving. They had some sort of line of lucky elephants that, depending where you live, sometimes elephants are lucky, and they had little elephants that were kind of decorated and cute, and they wanted me to do one with my fairies. I think I printed it out. Yeah. So here's the computer concept one that they had for a figurine. I was like, oh, that's cute. But then I thought about it more, and I thought about how I thought the elephant kind of looked like it was, I don't know, not like it was in a circus. I don't want it to look like it's an elephant in captivity. I want it to look like an elephant that lives out in the wild, because elephants live out in the wild. I've seen them many times, and I want it to look like a more natural setting and not necessarily fairy themed. I don't know if I'll give her wings or not, but I want to put some flowers in her hair and make a little jungle and stuff. So
yeah, just a little
nice little
hugging an elephant.
Hugging an elephant. Yeah. Because elephants can be nice, especially baby elephants. I printed out some pictures of elephants that I've taken in many different countries that I will probably be showing later on Twitch too, to show some of my inspiration behind this piece. But
all right, we already got a lot of people on the
raffle. Oh, really?
So
gosh,
so they're probably
wondering. I wouldn't have thought that this time of year. Usually this time of year the internet's like dead because it's nice outside.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for spending your afternoon watching me talk about elephants. So this is, I'm not very far on this painting. Just gessoed it maybe about a half hour ago, and I've been sketching out just the basics kind of this, but I want to put more of a background. If you look at again, this is not the actual painting. I think we've probably already mailed off the painting to somebody who got that little study I did last week. But the same sort of thing, but I want to put like a jungle kind of neat background, or maybe a savanna background. I'm not really sure yet, but the little one I did, it was just kind of green and smudgy, but I want to put some trees and plants and tall grass.
Well, that's why it's a study, right?
Yeah, that's why it's a study. Use a little bit. I don't know how you can see my desk from here, but I've got lots of pieces of masking tape around at any given time. So if I'm looking at something like this, I can just pop it down and put a piece of masking tape on it without having to stand up, go across the room, get a piece of masking tape, and then stick it down. I like to have things as concise as possible when I'm working.
Especially masking tape. And it does vary in quality.
It does. I am very particular about what masking tape I use, because I use masking tape, you guys have probably seen here at Twitch, to usually tape my panels that I'm working on, or even canvases, onto either the easel or the drafting table or the drawing board or whatever I'm working on. I use masking tape on that, and some types of masking tape won't stick to paint, which doesn't sound like a big deal. I don't want it to stick to paint a whole lot, but my whole work surface, this is actually a wooden board that this is on here. It just looks like paint. It's probably like this deep with paint. I could probably peel it off and it would just be awful. So if masking tape won't stick to the paint, it's not helpful to me. So we get, I forget, it's like 3M general purpose something.
No, this is not Dumbo.
No, it's not Dumbo. No.
It's just an elephant.
It's just a baby elephant. I just like baby elephants. And I have seen hundreds of baby elephants in the wild, and they are one of my favorite animals. They're a very neat animal to see in the wild, because usually you only get to see them at sometimes zoos or animal sanctuaries or places that maybe an elephant doesn't necessarily want to be, but he just kind of ended up. Elephants live a long time like people. They can live to be 70, 80 years old. And they often have long, complicated, and very social lives, which is interesting.
Yeah, they're horribly social.
Yeah, they are. I more so, it almost is like, it reminds me of how whales are, how they have kind of an interesting matriarchy sort of thing going on. Yeah. Oh, I dig elephants. They're one of my favorite animals. Even though they almost stomped on me once, I don't hold it against them specifically. I still love them. I'm also changing. If you look at the study I did last week, I'm changing how her arm is a bit, and I'm not sure where I'm even gonna put her legs yet. I haven't even drawn them in yet. I've just kind of focused on. I want her holding the trunk because I thought that was super cute. Oh, I'm gonna have her holding the trunk, but I'll probably want a bunch of foliage, leaves, and vines, and ferns, and plants and grass and stuff growing around.
Jungle scene.
Jungle stuff, yeah. Or at least high grass or savanna, sort of something. Thought about doing a sunset in the background, but I might. I don't know. We'll probably decide while you guys are watching.
Sounds good.
Yay! Drawing our eyes a bit here. I had a ruler out.
What will be the title of this?
I don't know. The little practice one I did was called. I forget if it was My Elephant Friend or An Elephant Friend mini study. So I won't call it something study because this will be the main version of it. So I'll probably call it Elephant Friend or My Elephant Friend. I often don't name a painting until I have to scan it in and call it something. Like if I'm keeping track and like paperwork and I'm like, oh, I've got to call that painting something. It's usually not a big part of the
right, unless it might be a part of a series. And
yeah, if it's part of a series or it's like, hey, this one's called. Oh, I heard.
Oh, thank you so much, Shadow Dancer. 14 months in a row. Wow.
Oh, wow. 14 months from now. When will that be?
No, they've subscribed for.
They have for 14 months previously.
Yeah, at first I didn't understand that when it said so and so subscribed for 14 months. I thought they paid.
Oh, I see.
That much, and no, it's just how many months they've.
Oh, that's how many times. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you are continuing to be entertained by this. Hey. But yeah, although to be fair, sometimes I will think of a title and that kind of inspires the painting. And that happens periodically. Some of my list of painting ideas are just like 3 words, and I end up calling the painting that because that was the inspiration for the painting.
Jasmine.
Like song lyrics or something. Yeah.
Amy Morgan's asking if the skeleton made it there safely.
We got a box from Amy Morgan, and we have not opened it yet. We just got a big bunch of mail. We tend to get mail in big clumps because we've got a P.O. box and we have multiple residences. So I think it has, but I have not opened it yet. It's something that I have not far from where I am now, but I will probably open it this evening when I get to catch my breath for a second. But I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's a type of catfish. Yeah.
Jebs57 says, guess where Tori, my daughter, is this month?
Oh, yes.
Doing the pre-college program at Ringling College of Art and Design.
Oh, excellent.
The first week they did live nude model figure drawing.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the most useful classes I think I ever took was when I was in college. That's one of the only classes that they actually had physically we could go to. The rest of it we did at home and whatever. But it was live drawing when you have an actual model in front of you and you draw them. And I did that 3 hours a day, 3 days a week for 4 or 5 years. Just often it was the same model, but that makes you get really good at being able to see something and just draw it, just copy it down like you're a printer and you're printing it out. The whole sort of hand-eye coordination, turning something from 3 dimensions into 2 dimensions, that is the best class you can take from that. So that is a good foundation.
I've heard Jasmine tell that to
I tell that to everybody.
People.
It's like, how do you learn to draw? It's like you put something in front of you. It can be the same basket of fruit, or we had to draw upside down tricycles because they don't look how you'd expect, so you don't draw it with your preconceived idea of how a tricycle looks. They'd turn it upside down, turn it in a weird way, and then you'd have to draw it from whatever angle you were in the class, and we would do that for hours and hours and hours, and it didn't matter who was even running the class. I ran the class sometimes, and they just, hey, draw the tricycle, it's upside down.
Well,
and
thank you
that
so much,
makes
Wild
you
Elf
learn
Fairy.
how to draw it.
Thanks for joining us,
was that
Ricky.
Magic Noise too? Oh, thank you.
Tori has improved so much just in the first week.
Oh, that's awesome. That's such a pretty campus over there too. Ringling is funny. Talking crap on circuses. It's like, oh, that is unrelated to the circus, although it is the same family. But yeah,
They do have a circus museum there.
they do have a circus museum. It's actually pretty interesting. But a lot of people in Florida who go to art schools, I didn't go to an art school, but people who live in Florida and are asking for advice, I always recommend Ringling. There are a lot of very talented people come out of there. Alternately, too, people up in Georgia, I typically recommend SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design. I've known several people who've gone through that and are phenomenal artists, and they have really good professors and everything there.
Oh yeah, those are like the 2 places.
Yeah, and they're not all that far from each other.
But just
either.
remember that Jasmine didn't go to a super awesome, like she was saying before. She did some life drawing and then did mostly at home.
Like, you also too, if you are not in college or you just want to pay like $10 a week or something, usually there are life drawing sort of pop-up classes that happen in a lot of public areas. If you search online for local life drawing classes, it means that there will be a model. Sometimes they're naked, sometimes they're not. It doesn't really matter unless you want to learn how to draw cloth really good, then get one with clothes. You go there, you sit around, you bring your whatever paper you want, a pencil that you want, and you just draw people. And that is always a helpful way to learn how to draw everything. If you learn how to draw people or bowls of fruit or upside down tricycles, it's not like that's the only thing you know how to draw. That makes you be able to look at something, remember what it looks like, and just try to, again, turn the 3-dimensional thing that you're looking at, or even thinking of it, come out of your head into a 2-dimensional plane, a flat piece of paper instead of a 3D sort of thing. I'll put my ruler away. I had my ruler out earlier because I like to, if I'm doing a painting where I want the character to be, if there's a primary character and they're looking at the viewer, I like their pupils to kind of be in line. I like the top part of their eyelashes to be in line, their eyebrows to be in line, and she's looking right at the viewer as opposed to off to the side or at the elephant.
Yeah, she's just staring straight at us.
She's just kind of staring at us, and that's got kind of a pleading sort of happy look that a lot of my characters have. But anyways, I use a ruler. I usually make a line down the front, so one face side isn't much bigger than the other. Eyes are right on line. Nose is kind of in the middle. The edges of the lips are kind of in the middle because Jasmine. She's not kind of smirking at anybody. Not now. I might change it. Yeah.
Black Widow says the timing for this stream is perfect. She has a 3-hour layover in Atlanta.
Oh my goodness. Gosh.
I know what layovers are like.
Oh yes.
They can be boring.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have one tomorrow. I'm headed off to Kansas City. We are, for those who don't know, we are headed up to our Kansas City studio for a while. We usually go up there for a month or 2 during the summer, and we are getting ready to head up. And it's kind of complicated because this year it's coinciding with the beginning of July, which is when we're starting to do our our anniversary pin giveaway. We always do an anniversary pin, like, hey, free pin with your order sort of thing at strangeling.com, because the anniversary for my website is in July every year. It's our 22nd anniversary at strangeling.com this year.
That's crazy.
I know, it is crazy. It just doesn't make me feel old, but it makes me feel like I've been doing it for 22 years. But anyway, so if you are ordering something, I know a lot of you are planning on placing orders tonight when it turns midnight, because it will be July then. Again, there is no June 31st, so tonight is when it turns into July. We might not be able to contact you for a day or two because we will be driving and or flying. There's a lot of us traveling to be in between studios, and we have to take vans of boxes of canvases and frames and pins and everything with us, and cats. 3 cats have to go too.
Yes.
So bear with us. We don't worry if you don't get a thing right away saying yes, we have your pin, and we'll talk more about the free pin thingy later, but that will start tonight. Tonight at midnight Eastern time, I believe.
Did you show off the raffles?
No.
Okay. Yeah, people are wanting.
Oh, are people wanting?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna make a little.
We got 75 people in the room and 75 people in the raffle.
Oh, that's everybody. Give me a second. I want to draw the little snoot thing. Elephants have a cute little thing at the end of their trunk. That's
no,
like,
the cats don't like to travel,
hand.
Kitten.
The cats do not like to travel. I think the thing they hate more than anything else is when we pick them up and we put them in the carrying cases. We have these elaborate carrying case / bungee cord things that we use to travel with them in the car, so that they don't fly around if we were in an accident. And one time we did spin out on some black ice in Illinois, and our car went off and the tires came off and everything, and the cats were fine. So it's pretty good. But they don't like being caught and put into the little cages,
no,
because I think they think they're going to go to the
Rio hides and Gamera won't shut up.
Yeah,
so
Gamera.
The 3 of them,
they don't like it. Once they're in the car, they usually get cozy and they kind of snuggle up. Usually, Rio kind of lies on top of Sunshine, and Sunshine pops her head out among Rio's bulk, and it's very cute. And there are a handful of places that we know we can stay that they don't care on the drive on the way there if the kitties are there. But,
exactly.
Yeah. Poor kitties.
You gotta find those places.
They're very happy when we get there, though. When they really like our Kansas house, though, don't they? When they get there, they start rolling around.
Oh, they love it.
They love the couch. It's got like a big L-shaped couch thingy, and they just roll around, and it's adorable. But yes, prizes. Let's see. We've got 3 prizes tonight because we're doing a 3-hour touch. And we'll be back next Sunday too, but we'll be from our Kansas studio. So I will be in a slightly different place than I am now. But you might not even notice. But the first one is, the first 2 are actually from Walt Disney World. These are official Disney merchandise that we waited in line and bought at Disney World. We have Princess Tiana from Princess and the Frog. Yay. Tiana and Naveen. Look how cute. Actually, I was kind of thinking about doing a background sort of like that for this, because it's kind of, I know this is obviously the American South, it's like New Orleans, but if you think about places where elephants live, they are often in places that have a lot of foliage, places they can hide, nice trees. But we've got this beautiful journal. This is a lined journal. It isn't a sketchbook. It is one that has lines in it. And you can buy these. Oh, I like how on the inside you can see it.
Thank you so much for the follow, Rebel.
Oh, thank you.
Roball.
But the insides have kind of a distant pattern of the actual painting in them. You can buy these at Disneyland and Disney World or at your www.store.com, or you can win one here, and it's free, and I'll sign it for you. Also, we have a very similar one that is also from Disney World or Disneyland. They have them at both. And this is the one I did for the 25th anniversary of The Nightmare Before Christmas. So it's got Jack and Sally on it. And it's got Zero. And Sally's kitty, who, as far as I know, does not have a name. Some people debate whether or not it's even Sally's kitty. But in the back, it says Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. And inside, you can see Sally very lightly. and then Jack on this one. And it is made and sold by the Walt Disney Company. And it is also, some of you who are in the know, it was a product I did for Disney Parks Merchandise. So there isn't like a print of this you can buy. You can only buy it from Disney as a t-shirt, like magnet.
T-shirt, magnet.
Journals.
Journal.
There's a handful of things.
They have a mug?
Yeah, there's a mug, stuff like that. It was for merchandise, like drinkware and clothing and stuff like this. It wasn't done through fine art, so it isn't a canvas or a print. But people take the journal, and especially after I sign it, they will often like matte and frame the front part of the journal, and that kind of looks like it was a print. And then
they look really good. Yeah,
they look really good. And then what's the last one's a pen. This will be around the time that we sign off, and oh, yes, I know this one. It looks like me. It's at the easel. I have one of these from Kansas City. I was up there briefly a few weeks ago. Snagged one of these. These were at Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City. And this is one of my own personal ones. I usually keep a couple for myself in case any are damaged or bloopers or like we put the wrong color on something. And I've got one, and they are hard to get. So that's a cool one. Woohoo! Yay! And I will sign the little paper thingy she's on. And those will be the prizes for tonight.
Cool.
Yay! And if you haven't yet, you type !raffle, R-A-F-F-L-E.
Oh, there was also the tote. Pixie has the tote of Jack.
Oh yes, yeah. There's that bag. Do I have one of those?
You do,
Did I get one?
You do, but I don't know if I have it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was here or if it was in London. Okay. If you have one, I'd love to show it off because I think that's also at the Your WDW store. I think they got some of those up there, and you can buy them even worldwide if you're in, you know. Maybe it's in Kansas City. Okay.
I've shown it off before.
Okay. Well, they're really cool. If you search Jasmine Nightmare Before Christmas bag, you'll probably find it. Hopefully.
I hope so.
Well, who knows what you might find. I don't know.
Yeah. The internet's weird like that.
Mm-hmm.
Search in Google.
Yeah, I liked it when Google showed the same thing to everybody. Now it's like it tries to tailor things to you, and it's not always stuff I want to look at.
I hear ya. Then it follows you around with ads constantly.
Yeah, it sure does. I half the ads I see are ads for my own stuff. It will say things like, hey, have you seen this new... It'll probably show me my ads for my Hamilton Collection fairies, like, after I'm done doing Twitch, because I talked about it or whatever. That whisper technology, man.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Leela keeps her journal on display with her Nightmare Before Christmas figurine.
Oh yes, yeah. I was gonna say that would go really well with that. I've done figurines, a bunch of them. I don't even know how many. I've designed more than I think they've made, but the little statues for the Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas, and those as little fairies, and they are adorable. I think we gave away some of those before as prizes up here.
Tigger says they're disappointed that Sanrio didn't make Hello Kitty prints.
Oh, I heard that they weren't going to tell people for another week. Maybe I'm not in the loop.
Yeah, I don't know myself.
I don't know. Yeah. I know that they just the painting just debuted last night. Last night was the 29th at the Corey Helfer Gallery. So I
bet that was a lot of fun.
I bet it was. I wish I could have been there, but I had to be here in Florida. But if you are in California, definitely stop by the Corey Helfer Gallery at downtown Los Angeles, and you can see all the different artists who are invited to do their portraits of Hello Kitty. Do I have mine here? You know, I don't think I have it handy. If you looked online, you can no doubt find it. I don't think they have announced even now yet, though, if they're going to be licensing or doing prints out of any of them. So, unless somebody knows more than I do, which is entirely possible.
Tigger says that Corey Helford Gallery sent an email.
Oh, huh.
It said that.
It said what?
It said that they won't be providing prints.
They won't be providing.
Or they won't. I'm just
Oh, I
They don't have
didn't get
prints.
the email, so I don't
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
In Rio didn't want prints or something. I don't know.
Oh, I heard they weren't going to know until later, so
Oh,
I don't
I
know.
myself have no idea.
Okay, I don't know either. No, I didn't even get a thing like saying, "Hey, here's the artwork for the show." Everybody's like, "When's the collector's preview?" I'm like, "I don't know. They didn't tell me." So they have a lot of different artists there for that show. It is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, but it was cool.
Yeah, you can. I think it's on display the whole show. Like the paintings and everything are there, probably for a month. They usually do them for 30 days or something, right?
Yes.
Seems like.
Typically.
It's kind of making some random lines in the background to put some trees and some sort of fun jungly stuff in there.
Is that a reminder? Just to when you do the lines, is that a reminder?
No, I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, do I want it to be, clouds in the background, or do I want trees and junk in it? So I'm just kind of putting trees and junk. I haven't really figured out what the bottom half rubber is going to look like. I wanted to be sitting down there because I wanted to show the elephants' little feet, because elephants have, I was telling Matt earlier, elephants have the funniest knees ever. If you look at them, they are quite funny.
I'll have to think on that.
They do.
I wonder what their kneecaps are like.
It's funny when you look at larger mammals, sometimes their knees go forward and sometimes their knees go backward. And if you were to ask people randomly, they don't know which way. It's like the front part of a giraffe, does it bend that way or that way? It's a hard thing to think of.
The front part of the giraffe bends back. And the back bends
it?
They're like us.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't have a front part. I have a top part.
Elephants are back. Like horses.
Sometimes animals are different than you would expect as far as quadrupeds go.
But it's not like I know them all.
No. So too, if I put more kind of diagonal background lines in here, that will make it look less of a portrait piece and more of a sort of painting that will have a distance to it, so it will look more three-dimensional as if it's going through space a bit.
And people love the baby elephant.
Yeah, he's a cutie. But yeah, I haven't painted Dumbo yet. I usually with Disney, they want me to paint female figurative artwork, like things that look like people, so they can tell that it was a Jasmine painting because it's a girl with big eyes in it, I think. So I haven't done any paintings for Disney that have just an animal character.
Right.
They'd probably get somebody else to paint that, somebody who paints animals mostly.
Yeah, there are a decent amount of artists at Wonderground.
Yeah, they've got loads, yeah. I don't even know how many artists work with Disney, really. It's a lot.
That's sort of kind of like the mission statement of Wonderground. They like to let the artists keep their style.
Well, that's for Wonderground, but I do things for like Disney Design Group and other parts of Disney or Hamilton stuff.
Well, they probably just want the classic Jasmine.
Yeah, they want it to look like a Jasmine painting, but it's, got a Disney outfit on it, so that's usually like my Madame Leota. I printout of that. Yep, I showed it last time, but that is coming up in August. And they just right before this emailed me the times and dates. So on, oh shoot, is it the 7th and 8th or 8th and 9th? I can't remember now. There's an email from them. I have not updated my event page with it yet because they literally just emailed me about it.
I think it's I definitely have the 7th and 8th here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, they're having me do, I think, 2 signings each of those days, and then the subsequent day would be the 9th. So I'm doing a signing at the Wonderground in California on the 9th of August, and then the 7th and 8th I'm doing stuff at inside the park for the first 2 days, and then the 3rd day I am signing stuff at Wonderground. I don't know if Madame Leota will be at Wonderground then, probably not, because she's part of the Haunted Mansion 50th anniversary. But she will be at Disneyland for those of you who are at the 50th anniversary party. And they will have her everywhere eventually. It just where she debuts at. So if you live in Iceland and want a t-shirt, you can get one. Just not yet. It will happen though. No, it really
For
will.
all you Icelanders.
These are all from Disney's website, so I'm not doing any spoilers here. It's from Disney.com.
Cool.
I printed them out, and that's my Madame Leota from the Haunted Mansion. If you are a Disney fan but have not been to the parks, you might not know who Madame Leota is. She's a character from the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland and Disney World and all the other Disney theme parks throughout the planet.
Yeah, she's a medium.
She is a medium. The t-shirts come in all sizes. Oh, that's bad.
That was good.
That was bad.
That was good.
There's a fine line between good and bad.
But yeah, that part where she's chanting and her head's in the globe, that's pretty cool.
I like that part too. I also like it, not to tie it back to the Nightmare Before Christmas, but when they do the Disneyland in California, when they do the special Nightmare Before Christmas thing that starts around a little bit for Halloween and goes all the way through Christmas, and they do an overlay of their haunted mansion, so it's all kind of Tim Burton-y.
It's pretty cool, guys.
It is cool. And then if you go there when it's not Halloween or Christmas, it's the regular haunted mansion, but then you go there Halloween and Christmas, it's all Nightmare Before Christmasy.
Jasmine.
Yep.
Dory asks, this piece Jasmine is working on, is it specific to anything?
As far as like the painting itself, it's not for a show or anything. It's basically it was when I do little mini paintings, sometimes I have different ideas I'd like to do a painting for, and I did one that was based off some old concept art that we had done as a potential figurine series that we didn't end up.
Thank you so much, Christy.
Oh, thank you. And then I decided to do a little mini painting based off of it to see how much I like it as a character or as a painting, like with the little elephant and everything. And I had so many people ask me about it, and it was meant to be a study for a larger piece. I thought, oh, okay, well, it's the next weekend. I don't always follow through with one weekend to the next in a continual series, but I thought I would do it this one since I had a big response for that one. It's one I've been meaning to do for a while. So the painting itself, it's not for a show, so if anybody would like to buy it, we have gotten some requests for the original painting already. It will be framed. It will be finished. It's not going to look like a sketch. It's going to be a finished painting. This is very loose. That little sketch for it is that I did last week, but it's it'll look like a finished painting, be framed, and usually it's 8x10, so it will be somewhere between $2,500 and $2,900, whatever we usually charge for a 8x10. And we can ship anywhere in the world. And if you're interested, you can email us at jasminetoad@aol.com. Matt can post that in the group here. We do have at least a couple people who are in line, but sometimes people are like, I don't like how our hair turned out, and they don't want any more. So you never know. People might pass it up, and if you're interested in it, let us know. And we will have prints of this one, as opposed to this one here. That again, this is the printout of it. This is already larger than the mini painting, and that's why I don't like to do enlargements really of mini paintings. If I'm going to make prints that you buy on my website, I want it to be a decent size before I scan it in. I don't want it to be like a sketch.
People are loving the baby elephant.
Oh, I'm happy to hear. I think where I want our feet to go. I haven't really gotten there yet. But I also want a lot of plants around it, so I might start focusing more on her face and the elephant's face. I've still got kind of my guidelines that I sketched in to begin with. And then I'll want to have some sort of green in the background, and I might have kind of the jungle enfolding them. Like there might be some leaves over parts of her. So I want to decide where leaves and maybe some flowers and stuff. In the little sketch here, I put some flowers in her hair.
Jasmine.
So I'll probably do that on her hair. I like how that looks, yeah.
Sassy says, I can't wait to receive the madam. I have a friend picking me it up at the first party.
Oh.
Already confirmed for the 14x18.
Oh, excellent.
Then I will bring it to KC Renfest for you to sign.
For me to sign. Perfect, yeah.
Cool.
Because they will be doing 14x18 matted prints. They'll be doing frame limited edition prints. They'll have postcards. Is it magnets? I forget. Magnets and t-shirts, obviously.
Hopefully.
Coffee cups.
Magnets are pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they're doing magnets, but definitely like postcards and canvases and all that. I know a handful of people. Disney's doing their, if you're familiar with Disney special ticket events, they do their I always want to say RSVP. It's not. It's RSP, right? The random selection process, where basically you put your number in and they let you buy something. And I know a couple people have done that already with the original painting. I don't know if you can still do it or not, but somebody's going to get the original painting, and Disney takes care of that. They already have it. I don't even know what frame she's in, but she's probably in a cool frame. But she is there in California. Woo. And she's lovely. I like painting those candles. That was fun.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Amanda Rabbit says maybe the mini paintings can be uploaded on Zazzle for keychains and stickers.
I don't know. My brother-in-law Chris does the Zazzle stuff, so I don't know if he would have scans of all those. The thing with mini paintings, I do a lot of them, and I don't necessarily. They're kind of like just making a sketch or making like a quick sandwich instead of a meal or something. I love painting them, and often they turn into things later, like this one, how I'm doing a larger painting of it. But usually with mini paintings, the only thing I do with them as far as the actual mini painting, I take a scan of it and I make one ACEO card. I've showed those before here at Twitch. If you haven't seen it, look at some of the previous broadcasts, and I make one tiny one that's like the same size, 2.5 by 3 inches, like the original one, and I auction those off as ACOs, and I just make one. It's an art card edition original, so it's like a little tiny trading card, and I just make one of them. And then typically with a lot of my mini paintings, either it is a study that I have finished off and cut down and made it into a mini size painting that was a sketch for a larger painting I did maybe even years ago, or it's something I'm working on that might be a painting in the future. But Zazzle wants you to have really big files, because if you print something that's 2 inches high, it's not going to be my best work, and I do a lot of painting. So if it's a day and I've done like 3 little paintings, I'm probably not going to save those for posterity. I'm just going to be painting those to be painting them, to be working at different color palettes, etc.
I love the ACEOs.
And the ACOs are, and that's a good way to collect them if you're looking for that sort of thing. Or just wait till I do a full-size version of the painting. There have been a couple of years where I would start every morning by doing a mini painting. So some years I remember that. I would do 300 or 400 of these in a year. I couldn't keep up with the copyright filing and the paperwork that would be involved with every one of those. I don't know. I'd have to be 10 people. That would be really helpful if I was 10 people, actually.
Yeah, it would.
I haven't really put a lot of thought into any sort of makeup or anything, but I know she's going to have some nice eyelashes, or at least thicker eyelids, where it's going to make kind of a shadow underneath where her eye makeup would be here. Just kind of sketching that in.
Before she posed for this photo, she stopped over at Sephora.
Oh, there's a baby. You can kind of see my guidelines on this too. When I'm drawing characters, even though he's not a, or she, I don't know. It's hard to tell with elephants when you only see the top half of them. If you have, I kind of draw a line in between where their eyes are, so I have a kind of a guideline to say, hey, that's halfway across their face, so one of their eyes doesn't start escaping and going off in the wrong direction. Also, just a piece of masonite that we've cut down, and I've got pieces of masking tape. Again, we're talking about masking tape, but
he loves that stuff.
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
Hey, at least I reuse my masking tape too. I don't just throw it away. I use it for all sorts of stuff. Usually to hold up my palette.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Christy Batgirl says, I would love to see a full-size painting of At the Easel, maybe with one of your kitty helpers.
Oh my gosh.
Helper.
I was gonna say, I'd say, combatants. I don't. No, which of the kitties helps me really? Sunshine likes to sit. Sunshine loves to when we're not broadcasting. I think Sunshine can tell when we have the cameras out, because she usually is sitting right here. It's about Sunshine wide here, and she sits literally right up there. And Gamera will sometimes threaten me from over here, and Rio will hide in the corner, and that's just what they do. But that would be kind of. So
other people agree in the room they would love that painting.
Okay.
At the Easel.
We were also thinking about doing a variant on the first Strangeling vinyl we did, the little Alice with the palette. since she has a palette and a paintbrush, I thought about keeping the same mold for her and painting the actual doll like at the easel and probably making it a Patreon only thing that they can buy. If you are not a Patreon person, we have a Patreon store that has a lot of cool stuff, including mini paintings and possible vinyls and stuff like that. Anyways, we thought about doing a repaint of that. That would be a special little doll that came in a special box, and since she already has paintbrushes and the easel, it might work pretty good. And she's got like a little apron because it's Alice in Wonderland. She's a pinafore, which is kind of like a little apron-y sort of thing. If I were to make that khaki green, then that would work out really good.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Natasha asks, which masking tape do you use? I have had bad luck with tape ripping my paper or paint getting under it.
Oh, well, mine, I don't really use it with paper very often, except for stuff like this. And this one's pretty good. What's it called? 3M. I can look at it. Let's see.
General purpose.
General purpose.
That's the one that worked the best.
Yeah, it's called. Well, it's called USO. Oh wait, no, that's Spanish. It's USO. Okay, gotcha. Usage general. No, that's French. Where's it? Fabrique à Canada. It's from Canada. General purpose. Okay.
Only use Canadian masks.
It's made in Canada, whatever it is. 3M Scotch.
Canada knows Scotch.
General purpose number. This probably means more. Number 2020. 2020. So if you search, again, this might not be necessarily good for your purposes.
There's one that's really bad called packing tape.
Packing tape is maybe it's great for packing. I don't know. Yeah. I cannot testify to that. But this is meant for me to stick bits of paper onto my horrible desk, and also
there's one that was too strong too.
Yeah, there was one that I like lifted up and it like started peeling off parts of my desk, and I'm like, no, don't do that.
Yeah. Or something. So you got.
Yeah. So this is 3M Scotch General Purpose number 2020. But don't buy it too much because Amazon's usually almost sold out of it, and then I won't have any.
So Nigel's watching the Glastonbury Music Festival.
Oh, that's happening now, isn't it?
You.
Yeah. Oh, that's happening right now in Glastonbury, right? The big festival?
Probably.
Yeah. I've never actually been to Glastonbury during the big, crazy 300,000 people festival thing, which is what people usually think I mean when I say I'm going to Glastonbury. It's like, no, it's a town other than that. It's got stuff. What's that, babe? Didn't hear what I said though.
I'll say, I didn't know you were a musician.
Oh. Well, there's a lot of things people don't know about me.
Yeah.
Well, this elephant's kind of
looking
grumpy.
We're at 107 viewers.
107?
Yeah, thanks for coming in
tonight. Thank you, everybody.
It's on BBC Two.
Oh, are they're showing it live? Eh?
Yeah, and on UK TV, I see.
Oh, yeah,
BBC
yeah.
2.
Although they get performers there from all over the world, I know. Also, sometimes, I don't know if they do this every year, they'll do, before it's open to the public, they'll have, some of the people will do a concert for the people who actually live in Glastonbury before they do the big crazy one. I think they do it over by the Abbey. Remember Linda and John were telling us about that?
Yeah, I remember different events happen inside the Abbey. I guess they set up chairs and whatnot.
Yeah, and for the people who live there, they do a free concert before they do the big crazy one. Not all the performers, that would be insane. They have like 10 stages there. I remember they did not do the Glastonbury Music Festival when it was the year that London had the Olympics, because they were using all the porta potties at the Olympics, and they didn't have any porta potties for the Glastonbury Music Festival.
Oh, The Cure's on at the moment.
Oh, holy!
What song?
Cure fan.
We've talked about
Obviously.
The Cure quite a bit.
Yes, yeah, I think we have done. It's not a secret. What song is it?
I'll see if we can figure it out. We've got about 13 minutes till the first raffle.
Oh, okay. And the first one is Tiana Journal from.
Tiana Journal. Yep.
This one's from Walt Disney World, and I will sign her. And she is on the front and the back. You know, it's funny. She's front and back on her journal from Disney, but the Jack and Sally one is got just Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas on it. It just says writing. It doesn't have two pictures. Otherwise, you could make two framed pictures. You could do that with Tiana, though. And Naveen.
Yeah, you definitely could.
Yeah.
Oh, the great portable loo shortage of England 2012.
Yes, that was a thing. I remember being there, and it's like we were at my studio there, and all the breakfast TV news programs that would come on, like if you wake up in the middle of the morning and turn on the TV, it's like all they were talking about was the porta potty shortage.
Yep.
Portaloos, rather.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Such an island problem.
It is an island
they
problem.
Just need to channel all the porta potties from France.
Did they have those there?
They do. I remember there were some near construction.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of my darker colors on here. I've got one of the colors that I had that I did the gesso with. Those who don't know about gesso, go back and look at one of my previous broadcasts where I actually do gessoing as like mixing gesso and mixing that all together. I take different colors of acrylic paints and mix it together with the gesso, which is kind of like plaster of Paris mixed with acrylic paints already, and do a layer.
The song is High.
I don't know if I know that one. H-I-G-H?
I think.
Or hello, like hi.
H-I-G-H.
Oh. The song is High. Oh, alright. But I am getting some Payne's Gray, and I'm putting that in here, and I'm putting that next to where I've got the purple and the brown and some of the same color. This is not the gesso, but it's a color I mixed with the gesso. So I want to cover up a line I don't like. I will just go over that with that color, and it's kind of like using the eraser button. It's like, oh, I don't like, if I change your arm and make your arm that way, I can just like cover it up with the color that I mixed in with the gesso.
Hey Jasmine,
yeah.
Shaylee just got a delivery from Morrison's.
Really?
Yeah. So
we were talking about Morrison's like a half hour ago, weren't we?
We were just talking about Morrison's.
We're literally just talking about Morrison's. It's a grocery chain in the UK. If you guys don't know.
Siren Moonbee says, "I've been loving Glastonbury, especially Chemical Brothers and Stormzy." I remember the Chemical Brothers.
Yeah, they have continued to make lots of music, and sometimes in America we only hear it if it's something that charted in America and they want to put it on radios or MTV or whatever, but a lot of bands like that keep making music, and you see them when you're in the UK or in Europe, etc. In the United States, you might think, oh, Chemical Brothers, I remember that from that one thing they did in 1998 or something, and it's like, no, they keep making stuff and it's still good, they just don't show it here or play it here as much. What you say, babe?
The Setting Sun.
Yes.
That's what everybody knows. Chemical
I
Brothers.
know it.
In America, at least.
Like the first week I had MTV here, I remember. It was around the time I met you. Yeah. I have a very good memory for music that came out around 1997 because I had MTV then briefly. I don't even know if MTV plays music anymore. Now I sound like I'm old and complaining.
Oh, MTV is just a different thing than it was.
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of...
Yeah, I don't even know how to watch music videos.
I have no idea. I usually see it because somebody's like, hey, Jasmine, so-and-so has a music video, and they send me a link, and otherwise I don't know how I'd find out about it if people didn't tell me.
Bailey says, Morrison's is the best anyhow. I don't have shares or anything there.
Oh.
I just like shopping there.
She's not like a paid sponsor. She's just... No. I like Morrison's, too.
MTV does exist. I don't know.
I know it does because I see it written on things. But yeah, the last few times I saw it. Where was I? I was in the airport and it was MTV, and it was just like a reality show of people getting their hair done or something. It didn't seem to have anything to do with music.
No, it doesn't anymore. Why is it music television?
I don't know.
Of course, A&E often isn't.
A&E is not always arts and entertainment. I know. Sometimes I think, oh, wouldn't it be cool if there was a channel? I know there's the Ovation channel, and it's also kind of all over the place. But if they had a channel that was art-based, that was an actual TV channel. But that's why you have things like Twitch. You can come watch that.
Yeah, I think the internet.
I think the internet did change a lot of that.
Yeah, you can just find. I mean, if you want to know the gossip about a certain musician, you don't need to listen to Kurt Loder. You can just go find it on the internet.
It was like that. What was that? I was on Portlandia. Yes, and it showed all the people from MTV News back in the 90s.
Matt Pinfield, Tabitha Soren, and Kurt Loder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good episode. And before that, I remember all the old DJs. I remember
VJs, Maddie.
Or VJ.
Oh, you call them
Of course,
DJs. You thought you were cool for a
Martha
second.
Quinn. God, I'm not gonna remember the Adam. I bet some people in the
This
room.
is probably before my time, I bet.
But yeah, I remember watching MTV when it first aired. Like it was on TV.
Like the very first time? Watching the moon landing, but it was on
It was
TV?
like the moon landing, which is funny because that was in their
That's probably
little logo-y thing.
Yes, it was, and they had a little flag that was on it. Yeah.
But yes, I was there at the first viewing.
You were in the shit.
Yep.
You're in the stuff there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember MTV.
Adam Curry. Yeah, Nina Blackwell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nina Blackwell has got one of the scratchiest voices I've ever
Well, some
heard
of
for
those
any
people
DJ.
have gone on to be actual DJs, like on satellite radio and stuff, right?
Yeah, I listened to them on 80s on 8, Sirius XM.
There you go. Hey, the 80s had some good music.
Yeah, those the VJs were great. They knew a lot about their stuff.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's a job you can get anymore, except on the internet or like something like that.
Yeah, I remember Headbangers Ball.
But you know what I liked? I liked 120 minutes. That was the best thing that you could watch, and you could stay up like at 1 o'clock in the morning. I forget. That would have been in Kansas or Missouri, but yeah.
Kennedy is on Fox News now. I was never.
Oh my gosh, Kennedy! I'm so disappointed in you. I did not know that.
Oh hey,
Huh?
Why are you disappointed?
She's on Fox News.
Oh, Jasmine.
I'm sorry. No.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
How interesting.
I thought Kennedys were typically Democrats.
Typically. Black Orchid Fairy says, "Cute elephant."
He is cute. He's starting to look grumpy though. I'm kind of worried about him.
It's the eyebrows. It's always
that's the thing. It's always I put a little eyebrow, and all of a sudden he looks devious. I mean, he looks like he's gonna bite her elbow or something. Looks like Gamera.
Yeah. Now he's evil elephant.
Oh, that's all. This one has taken a very strange turn. I know those evil elephants. Sometimes elephants are just jerks. I love them, but sometimes they are jerks.
Last Dance is starting now. Nigel's letting us know about this.
Oh, Glastonbury, yeah. Okay. Well, my line work is more or less done. It's probably going to look very messy to people who actually draw and do proper line work, but yeah, you can tell where it's going. You can see his little face and see her little face. Yeah.
Do we have any Wonderground Gallery Florida dates?
I do. I have 2 of them that I have not put up on my Strangeling events yet because I just got the confirmation from the lady who does the scheduling here in Florida. I've got one in August and one in September. They are on my paper Strangeling calendar. If you don't mind looking at it, Mandy, or if you hand it to me, I can find it too.
That might be better if you...
Yeah. I can look it up, but they're not posted online yet, but I can tell you here. I don't think it's a secret.
That's a 2016 calendar. That's not helpful.
No, not the 2016 calendar is helpful for me when I'm trying to like figure out old taxes and see if something was a business expense or whatever. But okay. Oh gosh, I'm not gonna show this thing. It's a mess. Look at that. Who could even read that? It's awful. Okay. Gotta pay the water bill that day. It's exciting. Honey Mansion. Okay. August 17th. Saturday, August 17th, I will be at the Wonderground Gallery in Florida. Here at Disney Springs, at Disney World in Florida. And then I've got one more. Oh, wow. Mandy wrote something on there. I'm not going to shut. Dragon Con. Pop Gallery, I will be at September 7th.
Yeah, someone in the room just said that.
Yes, that one I've already released and there's already thing. But also the subsequent weekend, I will be also at Disney Springs, but over at the Wonderground Gallery. That will be Saturday, September the 14th.
Cool.
So we've got, that's a lot. August the 17th in Florida at Wonderground. September the 7th at Pop Gallery in Florida, and then the next weekend, September the 14th at Wonderground in Florida. And the Wonderground ones are all 4 to 7, and the Pop Gallery ones are from 6 o'clock to 9. And the September 7th one at Pop Gallery will specifically be for the Alice in Wonderland coloring book, which has been very, very much anticipated. I am looking forward to having that one out and being able to show it to people, because I have worked, it is hard to get, 60 paintings that are all the same theme and then have the line art done for them and then write stuff about it and make a book. It has many years in the working on that, so I will be very happy when that comes out, so you all can see that. It is going to be pretty spectacular. It includes all my Alice in Otherlands ones, so like the Hieronymus Bosch ones and the Da Vinci ones and the Monets and Van Goghs and everything. All those are going to be in there, as well as the more traditional Alice in Wonderland ones. A lot of the same pictures that are in my Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck are going to be in the coloring book too. And we will be doing a cool pin that will, of course, be a giveaway during the Oracle deck event, or the coloring book event at Pop Gallery.
Debs say that they cannot wait for that coloring book.
Yay! Yeah, I think it might be the best one out of the... I've done 3 so far. That will be the 4th official coloring book I've done with Blue Angel Publishing, and I think it will probably be the best one because I think it probably has the biggest variation. Even though it's all Alice in Wonderland, I think it will have the most interesting things to color in, since it does have the Alice in Otherlands ones in it, so you can see like the weird little Bruegel guys and
I love those little guys.
Cloud Monet sort of waterscapes and everything. It's got a lot of stuff happening in it. I'm looking forward to that. Move her arm up a bit. It seems like that part of her arm isn't long enough for the rest of her body. Like I was saying,
change it.
Yeah,
especially at this phase, right?
Yes, in this phase of the painting, I can change things. Like if I don't want that whole shoulder area to be there, I can just kind of smudge that out. It's gone now. I didn't delete the
Jasmine,
lines there. I just
what
put different
computer
color
program did you use?
Yes, this is called Photoshop 0.0. No, I'm using the same color I had in the background, painting on top of it. That's like using an erase button. I'm using a hairdryer now though, so it dries up real quick. We're getting close to that.
Tiana?
Or
the computer I'm at. There we go.
Hey!
I
have a very good internal clock.
4:59 on my phone.
Tiana.
I think the phone is
the Tiana journal from Walt Disney World, and I will sign her.
All right,
and you can use her to write notes in, or a journal, grocery list, whatever people do when they write stuff.
Wild Elf Fairy.
Wild Elf Fairy, good name. I think they visit us often, don't they, here on Twitch? Yes. Yeah, congratulations.
And at Dragon Con too.
I was going to say, and in real life. You've got a Tiana, and I will sign her, and we will send her to you. We'll probably be sending these. Will they be before we get to Kansas City or after, Manny?
It'll be after. It'll take a bit
later this week. So just let us know what your address is and everything. Let's see. This is not quite dry yet. I'm gonna run up and wash some of the gesso off my hands and let this dry. Some parts are a bit wet, and I will be back shortly while Matt talks
about whatever.
Guys. Yes.
What do you guys want to talk about? Well, thank you so much for joining raffle, and congratulations, Wild Elf Fairy, on 5 o'clock raffle. So we've got 2 more raffles coming up. One is the Tiana. Already saw that. The other one is the Jack and Sally. That's in 1 hour. And then what's that? Yes, also a journal. And then the last one tonight is a pin at the easel pin, and that will be in 2 hours. Is she okay? Okay, that's funny. Gamera apparently, she likes to put herself under the cover, so she was under the duvet. Is this painting you're working on up for sale? It will be. Actually, Life Freedom, if you're interested in the original painting, here's our email address. But we have already had inquiries, but feel free to send us an email. Madam Leota. I don't know the exact day she comes out. I know it's the 7th and 8th. Of give you all the info I have currently. Trying to find it. I think it was the 7th and 8th of August. And then that is at the event itself. And then after that, it will become more available in the stores, Wonderground, hopefully, other stores. How warm is it there, Matt? 85 degrees here, and my pets and I are sweating like crazy. I don't know. I think it's about around the same. Check the temperature. Just have to look at my phone. But I think it's around 85 right now. Oh. It says it's 92 degrees. I'm a bad judge. Yeah, they said it's 85. Meander Rabbit says it's 85 degrees where they're at. Apparently it's 92 degrees here.
You have to go to the bathroom.
Go. Okay. Well, actually, after you sit down, I'm going to. I'm sorry. Did I hear something about a Ray Liotta print? No, Madam Leota. Billy. It's 99. Real Phil is 106 here in Nebraska. Wow, we got a heat wave. Ricky says they had 102.2 Fahrenheit today.
I believe it. I saw what's happening.
Wow, that's crazy. Do you have aircon there, Ricky? That's air conditioning. In Europe. Ooh, you don't have air conditioning. That's not good. Well, hopefully you're under a fan. Must be burning up.
For the first time I went to Paris, it was 102 degrees and nowhere I went had air conditioning.
Amanda Rabbit says, my girlfriend has a couple staying with her from France because it's so hot there. Tires are melting.
Yeah. It's over 100 degrees in a lot of parts of France right now. We're gonna be there shortly too. Not for a show or anything. A family thing. I'm taking my niece out there, and yeah, in the summer it can get hot. It usually isn't super hot, especially compared to Florida, but it is. It can be hot. I remember the first time I was there, I was staying at a Ibis hotel in Paris, which is a nice hotel. It's a step up from a youth hostel, definitely, which has been my previous things in Europe when I was a kid, but it had no air conditioning at all, and it was 102 degrees out, and I remember sitting in the window, like, with my legs hanging out, and calling Matt. It was much cooler here in Florida at the time.
Well, Florida usually doesn't get massive heat waves.
No,
we know what it's the temperature.
No, I think Orlando, the record-setting heat officially was 101 degrees, which isn't as hot as you'd think. I mean, obviously it's very hot, but not compared to, I mean, I've been in Kansas City when it's like 110, 115, you know. And then it freezes in the winter there, so that's very different.
I'm gonna get a coffee real quick.
Okay, if you do get a chance to run up and look at Gamera, it is, if I had had my phone with me, I would have taken a photo. It is hilarious. She's on this Barrett pill and she's moved the whole blanket. It's adorable.
So I can start the coffee.
Yeah.
And then
I'm gonna make her hair longer. We talked about last time with the little study painting I was working on. It's obviously not a real elephant. He's a friend elephant. He's as much as my character here is a real person, that isn't that version of an elephant. So minor things like the shape of his ears don't really matter to me here, where I don't know if he's an African or Indian elephant. I've seen lots of both of them. I did out some pictures. I'll see if I have them. I did have them. I think I was just looking at them when I was lining up the artwork. Let me see if I can find it, because I printed out a whole bunch of pictures that I was looking at when I was sketching them of different elephants that I've seen. No, I probably didn't keep them out here. That would have probably been nice to show you some of my elephants, but I've seen a lot of African elephants in the wild, a lot of Indian elephants, and they always are adorable, and I always have babies that are some of the cutest things ever, and they act just the way that human babies do, or toddlers do. They're very mischievous, and they're always getting into stuff and playing around in the water. I've seen hundreds of baby elephants playing in the water before in different places in Botswana, and they just kind of, you know, squirt each other with their noses like it's a hose, and it's just like going on the Jungle Cruise or something at Disney. They really do that. They're very goofy little guys, and they're adorable. Oh, did you see Gamera? Do you see how she moved the whole duvet and it's like sleeping on my pillow? Yeah, I know. Is Rio up there with her too?
Yeah.
Oh. Did Sunshine come down?
I don't know.
I tried to find my pictures I printed out with the elephants, but I don't think I brought them over here.
Really?
Yeah. I thought I cut them up and I was going to show them to people.
Oh.
Like the ones I took in India. Oh, wait! I found them.
Okay.
Yay! I found enough of them at least, but yeah. There are some elephants. Oh, these are cute. I took this picture in Botswana, and these are little baby elephants, and they don't drink through their trunks as cartoons would have you believe. They kind of suck up water in their trunk and they squirt it at their parents when they're not paying attention, which is hilarious and very cute. I was in a boat when I took this one, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at the elephants. And then later on I was like, oh my god, this park has 65, it's a national park in Botswana, and it has 65,000 elephants live there. It just wild. They're not a park like a zoo sort of thing. They're just live there. It was very neat.
That sounds like a nice place for them.
It is nice. They do have problems with poachers there, but they're lovely. This one, my brother-in-law took a picture of this one. It's a mommy elephant and baby elephant. This was in South Africa when I was at Chipangu. Lovely. This one, I printed this one out just because I was searching elephant in my own files that I keep on my computer. And this is actually at Notre Dame de Paris in France. And there is a tiny elephant at the very top. I went on a kind of a walk around the top part of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. And I guess their little gargoyles are okay, so that's good. And one of them is definitely an elephant. I took a picture of him because I was like,
Very
there's
cute.
a tiny elephant at the top of Notre Dame Cathedral. And, oh, here's this lovely fella. The ones in India, a lot of people keep elephants as transportation and are carrying things. You'll see elephants and camels and everything along next to, you know, fancy cars and random trucks and stuff in India. India is a crazy place.
Yeah,
But people like to paint their elephants with little designs on their noses. Yeah.
Do you usually start a painting with the eyes?
I usually, when I start the painting, I know where the eyes are going to be. So that's usually when I have I've had this ruler for like 25 years or something. I will have a ruler and I will think, oh, where are the eyes at? Are they going to be that way? Are they going to be straight? Are they going to be looking off the angle? And that's kind of where I make the direction of the painting going. Because that's the first thing that a human being is going to do when they look at a picture, is they're going to look for eyes that look like human eyes or something close enough to it. And I like to make that the focal point. Sunshine, is she on top of the refrigerator?
Yeah.
Sorry. I love you, Sunshine. Only Sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Sunshine is a bad kitty.
She's just being mischievous.
She's very mischievous, yeah. She's a perpetual kitten. Like, you think a kitty's gonna be acting grown up when they're... How old is Sunshine?
I don't know
8 years
anymore.
old? Who knows how old she was when we got her. But we've had her
She looks
for...
like a kitten and she acts like one.
I remember we found her, or we let her inside at least when the movie Brave was coming out. So what year was that? The Disney movie.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
That's how long we've had her, like, as an inside pet cat. And she's obviously older than that.
2012.
That was 7 years ago. So yeah, she's probably, I don't know, 8 or 9. Sunshine, stop it. Okay. Now that I've got the lines in here, I'm going to start working on things like work on the shading on her skin and trying to make it look a bit more three-dimensional here. Since I have different colors that I have either intentionally made darker, mixing it in the gesso, or the lighter version of the paint that I did not mix with the gesso, didn't put purple in. That's meant to be the shadows here. So I'm going to take some Naples yellow, which is kind of an opaque, lightening color. It's a warm neutral. That's a good one to use for if you're having something that you want to look sculptural.
Jasmine.
Or yeah.
Amanda says she knows that feel. I had to lure my cat out of a tree today with Pounce treats.
Oh no! Oh, Pounce, yeah.
He was ticking off a family of squirrels.
Oh, squirrels get really angry really quickly sometimes. We've had some angry squirrels in our yard, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. Our cats don't go outside, or they're not supposed to, Sunshine. But
we have a kind of friendly squirrel too.
What's that?
We have a friendly squirrel also.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of friendly squirrels here. I can pet most of the squirrels that live in town. Actually, if they come up to me, I can usually pet them. Not at contests, but I like petting them. I'm kind of mixing some Naples yellow in with the color that I used for the background gesso blending tone. And that's going to start making the parts that are the main female figure here pop up and put a differentiation between her and the little elephant. The elephant that I painted in the study, I kind of did a combination of cool tones and warm tones, so he was kind of bluish gray, but on the parts that the sun would be hitting, maybe it would be kind of pinkish.
A little pink.
Yeah, because he's a baby. Baby elephant.
Hi, Alicia.
Hello. I'm going to paint some fingers in here. I kind of have a random hand shape here, but I want to flesh it out a bit. Alright, now I'm not thinking about color as much as I am thinking about tone, whether it's dark or light, what parts are hitting the sun, what parts are going to be in shadow. I want, usually on something like this where somebody is going to be hugging something or caressing it, I want the arm that she is hugging something with to be lighter in tone than the rest of her body, so it looks like it's closer to the viewer.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That gives it a 3D quality.
Exactly. It's like if you were to see a statue of a girl hugging that baby elephant. This is what I'm looking at now to see what parts are closer to the viewer, which parts are farther away. I'll make this part darker. I can change the colors later if I want to give her more brown skin or pink skin or... again, it's not really an Asian elephant or an Indian elephant or an African elephant, so I'll probably give her kind of darker skin because she's supposed to be living in the wild. So probably kind of like in this painting here, depending on where I put the sun. But no matter what color skin is, your parts of it are going to be closer to the camera or to the viewer than other parts. So her arm is going to be one of the lighter parts of it.
Did you ever see that meme where somebody had painted their legs and it looked shiny?
Yes.
If you didn't know, that's...
I know. You showed it to me.
It's so weird.
Yeah. It looked like it had highlights on it, but it was like white out or something. Yeah.
Right. So we have another raffle in 45 minutes.
Is that the Jack and Sally?
That is the Jack and Sally journal.
Yeah. That real quick. Where'd it go? Here it is. Jack and Sally, and I won't autograph it. It's a lovely notebook. You can buy these at Walt Disney World or at Disneyland, at a lot of the gift shops and galleries that are around there. It's licensed by Tim Burton and by Disney, and I will autograph the front. You can also peel off the cover and frame it if you like.
You totally can.
That's what a lot of people seem to be doing with it. That's fine. Then you have like a notebook with no front on it. You can,
you can still use a notebook.
You can staple a print on the front of it. I don't know. If you look real closely, I don't know how good I can't really see TV from here, but I'm making this part of her arm a little bit lighter than this part of her arm. Not that her skin tone is changing, but that part of her arm would be closer if you're going to wrap around something. It's going to be closer to the viewer, so it's going to have, if not a lighter tone to it, it will have a higher difference between the gradation of the darker three-dimensional areas and the lighter three-dimensional areas. Yeah.
Tigger has a question.
Yeah.
For Jasmine about the painting Poe's Flight. We just got a canvas and wondering about the spray paint can in the painting. Is there any significance to it? Seems to hold the same color as Poe's hair highlights.
It does, yeah. Poe is I've done a couple pictures of Poe. She's a character that my sister Amber created, who I'm trying to think, is there a short story or the poem is in the first Strangeling book?
Yes.
Yeah. It talks about her. She's kind of a graffiti artist, so she has spray paint with her. You shouldn't spray paint things, people. I'm not being an advocate for graffito tagging things, but that is kind of her character, and it feeds into the short story and the poetry that my sister Amber wrote about that character. And I think it talks about it in the first Strangeling book. I don't know if you have a link to that on Amazon or whatever.
Oh, I could probably find it.
Yeah, it's probably on my website. I don't know. But yeah, she's kind of sort of an early version of, that was a long time ago, like proto-steampunk sort of character. And one of the things she has is like an aerosol can with kind of a magenta purple that she writes her name on stuff, which is funny because not far from DragonCon in Atlanta, right, Maddie? Remember we saw a Poe?
Yeah. That was so fun.
Tag, and it was when we were debuting one of the paintings there, and I was like, oh my gosh, Poe was already here. But her name is Poe. P-O-E.
I think that's a cute name.
It's funny because some people are like, well, what does it have to do with Edgar Allan Poe? I'm like, nothing. It's just her name also. I have a lot of paintings having to do with Edgar Allan Poe, but that is not one of them.
When I was little, I thought the reason poems were called poems was because of Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, like P-O-E?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I thought they were named after him.
Huh.
Well, if no one tells you, I mean, if you're very little and you hear about poems, you know.
No, I know, yeah. Well, it makes me think about the origination of the name Poe. I don't know. There's the singer, Poe, and that's Daniel, what's his name? Oslowski? I can't remember. He's got a Polish last name. I can't remember it. He writes...
His sister?
Yeah, he wrote... that's his sister. And she was a musician. It was popular. Again, it was probably around 1997 or 1998.
On the Chemical Brothers.
Yeah, around the time, the brief period of time I had MTV. It's probably around that sort of time. But yeah, he's the one who wrote, and he's a great writer. He's writing the Familiar series. He wrote House of Leaves. I like that one. Everybody I recommended it to said it was incredibly pretentious, but apparently I have no sort of judge of that, so don't take my word for it, but I liked it.
Is it one you could do on an audiobook?
No. To be fair, a lot of it involves the different fonts involved in that, and it's got like got a lot of footnotes. And I don't mean footnotes in a, like, I don't know, David Foster Wallace kind of footnotes. It's like footnotes that go on for 110 pages. I don't mean like 14 pages. I mean like 110 pages. It's yeah. It probably is very pretentious. I can't tell. I don't write. I just paint pictures.
Well, footnotes in fiction's pretty funny.
It's meant, well,
interesting.
If you're
divisive a bit.
Yeah. And also The Familiar, I think, is supposed to be 27 volumes. I think he's got like 4 of them done. I don't know.
What was that mystery writer who had to go through the whole alphabet or something? I don't. A is for...
Is that Sue Grafton?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. My mom read them, I think, or Katrina read them. One of my family members read them. Yeah. M is for a murder, sort of. Yeah, there are some... Every time that you write...
Mystery novels get away with
sequential detective fiction, you have to have a quirk to it that, yeah...
Well, thanks so much.
Was that the magic noise? Yay. Thank you. Now it might look like I'm putting darker tones on some parts of her face that you wouldn't expect to see it. But because I'm going to go over it with lighter tones and I want the shadows to kind of match the gesso. So it looks like they're all kind of made out of the same clay, if that makes sense.
Does make sense. I was looking at clay when we were at that Dick Blick store.
Oh, in New York? Yeah.
Reminds me so much of the one in Iowa City.
It's almost exactly like that one.
Yeah, it's very similar.
And you know what? They show up on my credit card thing the same way. It says Utrecht, like the city in
that is so weird.
Amsterdam. Yeah, well, I think that's their parent company. Well, for example, even like the back that's there, like in front of my big easel over there. See that? It says Utrecht on the side of it, but it's from Dick Blick. I think that's their parent company or something.
Well, they've made a big footprint here.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a local art store that they really, really love? The artists out there? It's kind of an interesting topic.
I like Sam Flax here in Orlando, but I don't get down there much. It takes 2 hours to drive there and back.
That's because I-4 is...
And I don't drive, so it takes me a long time, man.
Yeah, walking to Sam Flax might take a while.
Yeah. No, I mean, even just trying to convince people to drive me there or to walk there or take an Uber or whatever. I like Sam Flax, though. That's a good store. And the people who work there are very often artists in their own right, so they know a little bit about what sort of materials that they're selling, so that's always nice. Rare, but it's nice. Doesn't happen on Amazon.
No.
I love you and I hate you, Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon there's a certain level of convenience.
There is a certain level of convenience. That is very true, Maddie.
Kazamaka says, I have a great store called The Range.
The Range?
The Range. That would be over in the UK. Oh.
We never made it to the that one art store that was in Pentagel, did we?
No.
It was only open for like 20 minutes a day or something.
That's as their hours are.
As one does, you know. But, yeah.
Really, really tight hours there.
Yeah.
You can literally buy anything in there. This is talking about the Range.
Range, yeah.
And have a great arts and crafts section.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Good.
Sounds like Needful Things with art.
I don't... maybe. What's all the same? Right now I'm taking a bit of that Naples yellow and putting it right on top of the tones I've already put in here. And it might look very cartoonish at first, but this is mostly for my own reference to say, hey, this part of her face should be hitting the sun. If I do make like rays of sunlight coming through the jungle, I want it to be hitting that part of her. So when you first look at the painting, it's going to be like, oh, I'm going to look at her face and her eyes and her little arm around the baby elephant here. Because that's the most important part of this painting.
Jasmine.
It's a quiet portrait, yeah.
Hey Harmon says there's a lot of cool ones near, I think would be Johnson County Community College.
In Kansas?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh.
Always got discounts with a college ID.
Oh, you know, I don't have one of those because I'm 40, but yeah, that's good to know. I still have my old one.
Off of Metcalf in Kansas City, there's the
Keith Cold Snow. Yeah, it's called something else now. I keep calling it Keith. Yeah, I call it Keith Cold Snow, and I don't think it's been called that for probably 20 years. But yeah, off Metcalf, kind of behind where
they're good in a pinch.
Guitar World is. Yeah.
They don't have everything.
Is Guitar World even there still? I used to go there a lot.
I don't know
too.
If it's.
Yeah.
I don't by Guitar World. I can't remember.
No, it was behind Guitar World, or did that turn into like a Hooters or something? I don't remember.
Hooters is near there.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of where Guitar
World.
World.
It used to be I would hit Guitar World and I'd hit Keith Cold Snows, and now.
And it's next to the Indian grocery store.
Yes, it is next to the Indian grocery store. Is really good.
There are two of them.
Great one. There are two of them, and they are both good. They are so similar that I think they are meant to be like if you accidentally turn left, you'd go to that one, and if you turn right, you'd go to that one. They are almost identical.
Good stuff, and it smells so good in there.
And the spices are so cheap compared to going to Hy-Vee or something.
Or Publix.
But Publix is,
well, there's some
1,200
nice, cheap,
miles from there. But...
places off of Colonial, Asian, and there used to be is there an Indian grocery store off Sand Lake?
Well, here off OBT, at the corner of Sand Lake and OBT is Patel Brothers.
Patel.
Yes, Patel Brothers, and they're kind of a chain. They have one. I know they have one in New York, I think. And then they have one here in Florida, and it's like the size of a small Walmart or something, but it's an Indian grocery store here in Florida, not in Kansas, but here in Florida, and that is a great grocery store. I love that place. If that was the only grocery store I could go to, I would go to that one. That's a wonderful grocery store.
We like Indian food.
Yeah. I cook Indian food probably once a day. Often I cook different food for Matt than I do for me when he's here, and one of us will have Indian food usually.
Yeah, often.
Yeah. Probably at least once a day. Yeah. Almost a perfect cuisine, really. It's got 54 different levels of flavor and texture, which I think is very important.
That's funny they give that a number.
Yeah, they would though, wouldn't they?
They quantify things.
They like to quantify things in India. I'm trying to think of the name of the place we went to in Jaipur in India that was like the physical realizations of different mathematical formulas. You know what I'm talking about?
I remember...
It was like calendars, and it would start off like that, and it was like sundials, and it kept going on with that, but to a very extravagant level.
That's clever.
Yeah, it was clever. I was like, wow, this is really neat.
Kay Herman says, I go to a Chinese grocery store for 50-cent avocados.
Wow. See, that's what I mean. Sometimes you can get a bargain places that...
I mean, do they have it at a special farm? Where do they get these 50-cent avocados from?
Probably not China. That'd be some shipping on that one. So I've mixed some Naples yellow. I'm kind of going over her nose a bit, but I want her nose to stick out more than her cheeks. I'll show you what I've been doing here. I'll put it closer. Looks very wide-eyed right now. She won't look so startled. She won't be like, what the heck is this evil elephant looking at me? Because now he looks kind of demonic. He's kind of like, I'm going to bite your elbow. Yeah. Huh?
Are you going to make him nicer?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I've had my issues with wild elephants. So.
But not the little baby.
No. These were all teenage boy elephants. They're about like how teenage boy people are sometimes. Not always, but sometimes.
L. Hurt says, Aldi's has great prices on produce. Just came in, not exactly sure what the conversation is about. Yeah, we're just talking about grocery stores and Indian food and Indian grocery stores and things like that.
Yeah. Start off talking about art supply stores.
We did.
Yeah. Yeah, usually I order my art supplies online, which is kind of boring, but I figured out which things I need and when I'm going to get them, and got it down to a perfectly boring science.
Well, at least you got it figured out.
Yeah, that's true.
That means a lot.
Yeah, it's some fun.
And you get on with your day.
Yeah, painting more elephants. This brush I'm using here is, I think it's a number 4 round. It doesn't say on these. It calls it a Royal 4 250.
Royal 4 250?
Yeah, I'm used to the clear grip ones, but they've kind of been phasing them out, which is why some of you out there who I've been asking about the Royal clear grip brushes that are size 0, etc. If you ever see them, ask me first, but the SG 595 size 0s, if you have them, I will give you your money and then some. SG 595, very specific. There's 595-0s. Those are not the same, but these are good, and I think they stopped making them. And I love the handles of them. They're kind of a soft, squidgy sort of grip on them. Now they've got them, and they're like these weird painted wood things, and the paint falls off in the water because I leave them in my cup overnight. I probably shouldn't do that.
Don't drink the water.
Yeah, and not on camera, but yeah. Anyways, this is number 4 round, which is kind of it's kind of pointy at the end. It's about as big as I get when I'm actually painting. I use a wider brush. I was asking what I use for gessoing. I use a 1-inch flat brush. Doesn't really matter what brand. I'm vegetarian, so I don't get the ones that are made out of minks and hogs and whatever. I just get the ones made out of plastic, basically. They're not as good, probably, but they're cheap, and I can use them a million times. And I put on a layer of gesso, and then I use a very
Jasmine, what's the name of the brush again?
SG595 Royal Golden Taklon. And it's SG595. Not 595-0, that's a different brush, but SG595. And it's a size 0, which is confusing. So it sounds like an SG5950 would be right, but it's not. It's size 0,
wow.
SG595. And that I have called, I don't know, 11 different companies that make these and ship these. And I'm like, do you have any of those SG595s? And they'll send them, and it's like, it's the wrong one. It's like an inch long, and it's a big wobbly thing you'd maybe use for like doing, I don't know, eyeliner or something. I don't know what they're for. Painting cat whiskers, maybe. I don't know. But the ones that they have they should be about roughly half an inch long. Should be yellow. This one's gray because I've been painting a lot of gray paint on it. But they're my favorite brush, and I think they've stopped making them, and it's so sad. If you have them, let me know. If you see them at your local Michael's or Hobby Lobby, let me know that too, because I will buy all of them.
There you go.
I have probably a few hundred of them, which might sound like a lot, but sometimes I will blast through 2 or 3 of them. They're not great brushes, I just really like them, so I will ruin them in a short period of time. It's hard to find good brushes that aren't made out of, you know, little dead weasels or something.
Yeah, apparently it's dead weasels make good art.
Dead weasels make good art, man.
About 25 minutes to raffle.
That will be for the Jack and Sally notebook, okay?
Yep.
A bit lighter now. I'm putting some Titan Buff and some Naples Yellow. I'm mixing in the same background color. I'm only going to put on the first of her, theoretically, 5 fingers here, curling around the trunk of the elephant. And that will make it look like it is a little bit closer to the viewer if that part is a little bit lighter. I'll show how it's here. You can tell the front part of her arm is a bit closer to the person looking at the picture than the back part of her arm. How about that grumpy elephant? I think, I don't know.
I like him.
Well, if you look at the study I did, I gave him a little bit of a grumpy eyebrow. He's not super grumpy, but... And she just kind of is like, oh, how did I find this elephant? I love this elephant. But I kind of, here, he kind of looks like he's gonna, I don't know, he doesn't really have teeth yet. Grown-up elephants have, if it's a boy elephant, he's got tusks and all, but I'm not really gonna put that on a baby elephant because they don't get that until they're grown up a bit.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
A kitten says script and fancy detailing. That's what the long ones are used
for. Okay.
I use the long ones in pottery.
Oh, I could see that, yeah.
And Sasha says, beautiful work in progress.
Thank you. So far, so good. Probably add some colors on here in a little bit. I just want to get the main parts of the figure lined up here. Again, I'm just not really sure what's going to happen here because I want it to look like you've come across them and there's going to be a bunch of plants and ferns and jungle stuff. So I might kind of, after I've got the main parts of the 2 primary figures here, I might start putting a dark halo around everything and making it look like the plants and the vines and the leaves and the grass and everything are kind of coming around them like they're cozy in a little nest.
Jasmine, would you like a cashew?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Or is that your way of saying that you would like some cashews?
Yeah, try that. But it's nice to ask.
Somebody asked me what cashews mean on Twitch, and I was like, cashews mean cashews. We are very boring.
Huh? Be from another country that doesn't call them cashews?
No, I think they thought it was code word for something. Like, do you want a cashew? I want a cashew. And it's like, no, I want a cashew. We're vegetarians and they have a lot of protein. I don't know. So I'm also using some of the same tone, even though it'll probably be a different color because he's a little elephant. He's got a little trunk snoot. I'm using some of the same colors I was using on her skin tone to draw out some shading a little bit on his little trunk, and also the little, there's probably a word for it, but the little hand thing that's at the end of their nose, at the end of their trunk, that they can pick things up with. The thing that they squirt you at with a hose, you know, at the end of their trunks, they've got like a little lip. Yeah, it's very prehensile. It's actually quite a bit like their lips, like how he's got, I know he's got a little grumpy smile, but it's kind of made out of the same stuff that is there.
Oh, you're making me want to spend more time with elephants.
Or cashews. I love elephants. If you come to Africa with me, I'll show you elephants. I don't know how much the mic is picking up. It's a problem, cashews. We're crunchy.
Crunchy.
Draw out his brow line a bit. I just want to cover up this little line I put in the middle, showing myself like, hey, that's the middle part of where his eyes would be, in the middle of his forehead. And I want to draw a lot more attention to his front ear. I kind of just drew a random back ear. When I did the little fella in the mini painting last week, I didn't really give him a, that's his left ear. If the viewer is looking at him, that would be his own left ear. His right ear is not really in there. I don't know if it lined up perfectly with that one, or that's part of why it's a study instead of a actual finished painting. But this one I was like, oh, well, where's his other ear? It's probably by where his other eye is. Like, it kind of grows out of his eyebrow almost. So I kind of made a little line up there. The elephants have very different faces than people, but they are still very expressive with their faces.
Totally. I love, we saw a couple baby elephants get born. Well, not...
Oh, right after they were born, yeah. They have
the Animal Kingdom.
They have a breeding program here in Florida, because elephants like it here too, at Disney, and they do a very, very nice job of keeping their elephants in a very happy place, and they have had very good success with breeding baby elephants to try to kind of give them a larger gene pool, because they're having different elephants breeding in with other elephants, either for release programs or for ones that they're just trying to keep the DNA in circulation for places that elephants are having problems in. And they are absolutely adorable.
I like how they feed themselves with their little trunk too.
Yeah, they pick up hay and all that.
They evolved in a very bizarre way.
They do. They're one of the neatest. I don't have one. I don't even know if it's legal to have one. I wouldn't get one if it was illegal. I know there's things about ivory and stuff, but elephant skulls are very cool looking. Some people think it was the kind of the impetus for the idea of a cyclops, because there are these, they almost look like a human skull with one big eye in the middle.
That nasal cavity.
But that's where their trunk comes out of. It's not where their eyes are. Their eyes are on the side, their little eyes that are
since it was huge.
But they had a huge hole in the front of their skull.
Giant cyclops.
And people would, Roman times and whatever, when people weren't paying a whole lot of attention, they would see a skull and they'd be like, oh, look, there's a big hole in the front. It must be where the eye is for a cyclops, but really it's an elephant. If you Google it, it's kind of a neat thing to see, but that would be a neat thing to... I don't think you can own them, probably. It's probably illegal to own elephants. Yeah.
Why not legally?
Yeah, because you can, there's even problems with, if you have a piano from the 1800s that is made out of ivory, you can't own it in some places because it's ivory.
Yeah, I remember seeing a few things in India that were made out of elephant in some way, and they said this was from a long, long, long time
ago. Because you can't get them and bring them back to America or anything. I think also, we were talking about elephant's knees earlier, I put some little highlights on where, if I do make the sun kind of coming through some jungle in the background, I want it to kind of hit out on his knees, so it looks like these are further in front of him than his face is, because his face is here, and your arms can be out here, your legs can be out here. I want it to make it look like it's more three-dimensional. I'm putting some highlights down here just as a reminder to myself. And I haven't decided where her legs will be, or if she'll mostly be covered up with vines and green stuff. I don't know if he's looking more or less grumpy. What do you think, Maddie? I don't know if you
looked a
can
little
tell.
more
He's pretty adorable.
He's cute though.
He is. Elephants can be grumpy. The thing I might start doing is figuring out where the background bits are going to be as far as the greenery goes.
About 18 minutes to raffle.
Okay. One of the only colors of green that I actually use, I usually mix my own greens. I like sap green. I don't use it for a finishing color very often, but I use it for a maquette sort of storyboarding color. It's like, hey, this is generic forest, and that's like, hey, I'm gonna go around here. That part's the elephant's ear. It's gonna be gray or pink or something like that. I want parts of it to be green, so I know where the elephant's ear stops and where the forest or background begins. I can always change that later. That's a good thing about acrylics. You can paint on top of it, and
yeah,
it just
doesn't smear around. I don't know much about oils. It looks like they smear around a lot.
Oils do smear around a lot, which is kind of what is good about oils, though, too. I can't use oil paints because I put my brush in my mouth all the time, and it would poison me. But if you used oil paints, if I were to paint it this, I could go like, and it would just like wipe away. It's
scary.
It's like painting lotion on top of lotion. It's not a very cohesive substrate to work on. But when you're working on wood with acrylics, it's like putting a piece of plastic on there. It's like projected on there. It's gone. It's there forever. You can't smudge it around. It's Jasmine, there. Yeah.
Hockey says, always love your use of light source.
Oh, thank you. That's something I usually at this stage in the painting in specific is when I'm thinking about what are the areas that are going to be hit by light, because that's something that I kind of work forward and then back. If that makes sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense. Again, when I look at that How to Paint Like the Old Masters book,
oh yeah, I love that.
Looks like you're doing what they said.
Yeah, except I'm using acrylics instead of oil.
Exactly, but you're still using it.
I am
in the same way.
So I'm gonna start putting it. It looks like I've got some water here at the bottom of my. I'll put some more at the bottom of my palette. I've got a big old cup of water here. If you don't see it, I use that and I mix it with my paints. Yum.
Hockey was taught to go from light to dark.
Okay, you can kind of go either way. It depends on the painting. If it's a painting where it's a very dark sort of painting, sometimes it makes sense to go dark and then go light. I usually try to go from a mid-level, which is why I tint my gesso, and I will go up and go back if I have to. But I like to think about color-wise to go from cooler to warmer, usually. I've got an odd Nerdrum palette.
Haley finally got her cup of tea.
Oh, yay. Oh, what time is it there, though? I don't know if I could drink tea that
Shaylee
late.
stays up late.
Oh, yeah. I can't drink tea past, like, unless it's herbal tea, I can't drink it past, like, 7 o'clock or I'll be up all night.
Yeah, there's sleepy time tea, for example.
Yeah, sleepy. Yeah, no, herbal tea. The people use the word tea very loosely, but it's tea. If it's black tea, then, yeah.
That was a bad joke.
What was that?
Loose tea?
Yes, they use it loosely. Yes, well done, though. But no, yeah, I can't drink, builder grade tea at 9 o'clock at night. I would be up all night. It'd be like drinking coffee. But I'm very susceptible to stimulants.
Haley said, "Yep, I work late. It's English tea."
Ah. Alright, I'll keep you up.
I've had English tea before.
I have a lot of English tea.
I've had a ton. Yeah.
Well, often we'll be
like
coming off the wrong time zone, and yeah, you do want that.
But man, those Brits really love coffee too.
They do. I just can't really get into coffee.
Shaylee says, "I know I should switch to chamomile, but I'm treating myself,
Aw. I like tea. I like how tea tastes. I drink a lot of tea. I drink it in the morning usually, but
Hockey says, like with graphite pencils, I was taught light to dark.
Ah.
Painting is all up to the artist.
Yeah, painting can go either way. If you have graphite pencils, you pretty much have to go light to dark because graphite is a darker, medium that you're putting on a light colored substrate usually, unless you have like a clay pencil or a pastel or something that you're putting with a light color on top of it, and you're working from a mid-tone sort of range. That's kind of what I'm doing with paints, because if I start with kind of a gray, brown, blue, purple, whatever background, and I'll do it, if she was a mermaid, I'd probably put a bunch of blue in the gesso. Then I can put darker paints on it and it'll automatically make it look more three-dimensional because I started with a medium grade tone. Or if I put a lighter color on top, it will automatically look more three-dimensional because I'm doing a lighter tone on top of the medium
Jasmine.
grade. Yeah.
Kitten says they can't drink anything caffeinated after 10 a.m.
Oh.
They're up for 24 hours. Lila got a Coke.
Yeah.
And Shaylee says you guys get up super early, don't you?
We do.
And Kazumaka is working in graphite right now.
Oh, nice. I am hoping, a lot of you have been asking, since I think we talked about it week before last, when we were talking about things we could put up in the Patreon store, how I was wanting to maybe, or people were asking about my concept art and sketches that I do on paper, which I don't usually show to the public, but a lot of you have indicated that you would like to purchase them. So
yes, you have.
If I have literally been throwing them away, I would rather that people, I guess, give them a good home. I'd probably clean them up a bit and put them in a little frame or something. I don't know, but that's something that we will be working on this summer, I promise. We've had a handful of emails about that, too.
A lot of emails.
A lot of, okay, 4 handfuls of emails about it.
Which do you prefer, Jasmine? Prismacolor or Faber-Castell?
Oh, the colored pencils. I don't really use colored pencils much. I'm pretty much just a painter. Unless I'm doing pastels, which I think most of mine are Faber-Castell? I don't remember. I think they are. Well, some of them are no, what's it called? Arches? No.
I don't know.
It's French. I don't remember the name of them. I should probably look at stuff like that. But a lot of people ask me what I use for coloring books, and I don't really do a lot of coloring in coloring books, because if I have time to make art, it's usually to make a new picture as opposed to coloring in one of my old pictures, which is also kind of fun, but I tend to do that if it's like, I don't know.
Cause it says Arteza?
And nephews. No, it's something like the word arches, but I have some in my art cabinet. When I get up, if I get up for a bathroom break before we sign off tonight, I will go look, because they are very nice, and they are pastels though. They are not colored pencils. They look like pencils, but they are actual pastel blocks that are inside a wooden pencil, and I really dig them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, some of the paintings, like not paintings, but the pastel studies I've done, like verdigris, and a handful of the ones I've done that were like on the masonite, that like toned masonite that you framed up, and they were actual drawings that I did. Mm-hmm. Those were done with those. I think it's not arches. I'm probably thinking of the watercolor paper, but I will let you know. But if I'm making artwork, it's pretty much just painting. Same old paints, water, brush. I'll show how she's turning out so far.
I like that.
Green.
I like that it's going to be very green.
Yeah, well, elephants tend to live places that have plants and trees that they like to eat.
Another person guessed Arteza.
Arteza, maybe that is that.
I don't know.
How close are we to the next giveaway?
9 minutes.
Oh, okay. Maybe after that I'll look in the cabinet and see what brand of paint it is.
Then we're on for about another hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll be up here for after that. And we'll be back here next Sunday, but we will be from my other studio. I will be in my Kansas City studio.
What type of acrylic brand paints do you use?
Most of these that I use when I'm here at Twitch are the golden fluid acrylics. They're my favorite ones. There are a few colors that I prefer, Winsor Newton, like the squidgy ones that come in the toothpaste tubes. But I mostly use fluid acrylics, and when I do, I usually get golden, and they're good. I mix them with a lot of water, and don't use them the way a lot of people tend to use them. I've had people who buy these and they've tried to use them like they got a book about acrylic painting, and they don't always mix the way that you think they would because they are fluid. They're already kind of watery, like they have water already mixed in them, sort of.
Yeah.
So, as opposed to the toothpaste sort of tube ones that are, I forget what you call those. Heavy body, I think.
I've seen that written
heavy body
heavy
acrylics.
body.
I don't remember. Whatever it is, it's in the toothpaste tube. It's very different than that, but the pigments are very similar. They have a very high pigment load, and that works really good for my paintings because sometimes I have really unnaturally bright colors or exciting, mermaids and fairy things happening.
Sweet Dragon 13 says, I'm just 13. I normally draw, but just started painting.
Oh,
I love it.
That's definitely kind of a bridge from... I would always recommend to people that they start drawing first, because if you can draw, you can paint, but not always vice versa. Like, you can be good at painting and doing colors, but it's good to have a good foundation in drawing first.
Hockey says, I tried oil painting because Bob Ross, but moved to acrylics, more forgiving.
Yeah, I don't know. I did too. When I was, actually, you're just talking about 13, that's how old I was when I bought my first set of oil paints. And I got the Bob Ross set, and I got the tapes and everything. I won a bunch of money from a spelling bee, and I bought a bunch of paints and tapes and things from Bob Ross, and so I kind of started. But oils in a way are more forgiving because once you put it down, you can smudge it around a bit. You can't do that with acrylics. It's like this is already dry. Maybe it's because I mix a lot of water in them, but that makes it evaporate faster.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Kimber just got off of work.
Oh.
And she asked, please tell me that little elephant being painted is going to be a print.
It will, definitely. Yeah, that's this one here. Since this is basically if something is an 8x10 or larger, I can do full-size prints of it. With the one I painted last week, this is even a large tear, and it does not look very good. It's just on a piece of paper. But the little study I did last week of the elephant, yeah, if something is 2 inches big, it's not going to look good if you bring it up to 20 inches. It would look like a blurry mess that you printed off the internet or something. So this one here this is a study for the full-size painting that I'm working on now. And we will definitely have prints.
Kaza says she can't paint for toffee, but can draw pretty much anything in graphite.
Yeah.
She's terrified of color.
Color is a whole, that's the whole moving to a different dimension thing. If you can do black and white or grayscale sort of illustrating, drawing, pen and ink, whatever. Color is a whole thing that you've got to throw into the mix, and not everybody likes that, and not everybody has to do that. Some of the best artists in the world are people who work monochromatically. I like working in color, and I'm not all that into drawing. I don't do a whole lot of... You guys have seen the extent of my drawing for the most part. It's like, I'm going to make a line here and a line there, and I'll make an eye there and an eye there, and that's kind of my drawing. Then I kind of paint on top of it. But some people do incredibly intricate, beautiful graphite drawings, and that might be the extent of that. They might not ever add color to it or even make a painting out of it.
Kimber's very happy.
Aww.
Hockey says color is frightening at first until you get used to the shading for it.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Definitely. It's a thing you get used to, and it's also something that is going to change every painting you do depending on what the situation is in the artwork. And that's why I talk a lot about light source and where the setting is. For example, even when I'm choosing the gesso, this one, I was like, oh, I know this is probably going to be out in the woods or out in a field somewhere because I want it to be an elephant that's living in the wild with a little girl who loves her elephant friend. So it's going to be somewhere that's going to have warmer sort of shadows. If it has cooler tones around it, like a bunch of green, then the shadows are going to be the opposite of green, which obviously is going to be a red tone. So I put some kind of red, burgundy, purple, gray tones into the gesso. So if there's a shadow, like let's say underneath your eyes, it will be the opposite of whatever the surrounding color is. If it was going to be underwater, maybe I would put some orangey purple shadows because there's going to be bluish green. So whatever the opposite color of the main surrounding is going to be the color of the shadows. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. It is. I don't know if it's always that way in painting, but that's the way it is in real life. If you wear a bright orange shirt and go outside and then look at underneath your arm and see if your arm looks more, it's not going to look orange. It's going to look kind of bluish green because it's next to the orange, if that makes sense. There's probably better ways to say that, but...
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Leela says, I cannot draw, but I have some sweet ideas in my mind.
That's always good too. Not everybody has all those things. Some
No,
people
they don't.
Some people are very good at drawing or painting, and they can't always think of things to draw or paint. I'm lucky in that I have a lot of ideas.
You definitely
do. When I say I have a lot of ideas, I have a lot of ideas. I have documents that I don't even know how many megabytes of things I've written down that I want to paint, etc. This wasn't even one of them. Yeah.
Hockey says your artwork reminds me a little of Tim Burton, kind of.
Oh.
And Black Orchid Fairy says, please make the elephant happy.
I think he is happy. Sometimes people are happy when they've got a mean look on their face, especially elephants. But speaking of our next prize, somebody said Tim Burton. Here is one of the few projects I have done licensed with Tim Burton and with the Walt Disney Company. You can buy these at Disneyland, Disney World, and this is co-branded Jasmine Becket-Griffith, Disney, and Tim Burton. I think we include all the statues, I think it's around 25 different things so far, which is a lot. But this is the wonderful journal. You can get these online also. If you live overseas, you can get them at your WDW store. .net, I always forget.
I don't remember.
You probably have a link for it somewhere.
Yeah, I do. I will post it.
Oh. Anyways, but this was for one of the ones I did. We bought this at Disney World as part of the 25th anniversary for The Nightmare Before Christmas. And it's got Sally's kitty in it. It's one of the only Disney products that has Sally's kitty cat in it. And it's got Zero. I like how Zero's kind of looking at the kitty cat. Like, he's kind of oblivious. He's a ghost doggy. But the kitty's like, yeah, kitty's just a kitty. Kitties are the same whether they're dead or alive. They're just the same all the time. .net, okay. And there's Jack and Sally. Looking lovely. There's also a bunch of cool pumpkins there. It's funny, you can't really, I don't know if you can see on here, but the on the side you can see some of the pumpkins that I spent a lot of time trying to make the mouths of the jack-o'-lanterns look like they're super, super glowing by putting white. So cool. I think I did 50 layers of white paint on top of yellow and interlaying like the different white, yellow, and red on that, and it turned out really cool.
Shaylee thinks the elephant looks cunning.
Yeah, well, elephants are very clever beasties. He's got some plans. Look at him. I don't know. I feel like I'm building it up too much now. He's gonna look kind of like.
Hey, Harmon says I've gotten lucky to do collaborations with spray paint. Always feels like it takes forever from the concept getting all the fun permissions to put it on a building wall.
Oh yeah, if you're doing like public art or something like that, that's really cool. That's got to be on such a bigger scale than what I do. Like this painting here is like 8 inches by 10. I have not done very large.
I like the big things.
I've done some things that turned into billboards, like in California, like in San Francisco, they did some of mine as big billboards along the highway.
It's like.
But it's a painting I did that was small, and they just made it big, and I didn't have to actually paint it. I just did the little one, and they made it big. But I love seeing that sort of thing.
Faye Conjurer.
Urban art. What is it?
Faye Conjurer.
Oh, congratulations, Faye Conjurer.
Will the elephant be a gray or a fun color?
He's probably going to be
a gray or a fun color.
Are you implying that gray is not a fun color? Okay. If you look at the last week's Twitch I did a tiny little mini study painting. This is just a bad printout on my silly little computer printer thingy. But he'll probably be kind of like this. If you look at him, I don't know how good it shows up on the computer or the TV or your phone or whatever y'all look at. He's kind of gray, but the edges that are hit by the sun more are going to be kind of a pink, peachy, magenta color. So he's going to go from kind of a warm color or a cool color to a warm color on the extremities. So that is totally kind of an odd nerdrum. I forget what that color palette is called. It has
I wouldn't know, I'm sorry.
It has a term for it. It's not palette. It starts with a P. I can't think of it. It's something that's been around for hundreds if not thousands of years, where you have a cool tone, and as it gets closer to the viewer or to the camera or the perceived eyeball that's looking at it is getting warmer toned. I'll think of it, or I'll Google it when I'm in the bathroom, and I'll act like I know.
What's the largest painting you've done?
I don't know. I've done some commission pieces that have been 72 inches. What was that one I did? That was the lady with all the books.
I don't remember. It was
I
huge.
think I had to. It wouldn't fit on my easel even. I had to. Matt had to get big pieces of wood from Home Depot, and I had to put it on the back of it. Yeah, maybe 6 or 7 feet across. As far as ones I've sold, like paintings I've done for myself or a gallery or something like that, usually they top out around 48 inches ish, like 36 by 48. Anything bigger than that makes it hard to put in the car or to mail to a gallery or to mail through the mail, like at the post office.
Right.
Or since I work typically on pieces of wood, you can't really roll them up or anything. So I've got to, they're, big. And if it's too big to fit out the door, I don't know what I would do. Or too big to fit in the car, I don't know how I'd mail it. So right now, that's kind of the limiting factor. I would like to paint bigger, and I am planning to do some larger pieces for got a show coming up at the Corey, well, coming up, but not this November, but next November at the Corey Helfer Gallery in Los Angeles. I'm doing a solo show, and I will have some larger pieces there because that is a big gallery, and they're giving me the big room. So I've got to start on that this month, really. I've got a few pieces in the works now, and you'll probably start seeing me work on those after we get back from our Kansas City expedition this coming month. Probably in August, I'll start doing more of the pieces for that gallery show. And some of those will be big, and they will be, you guys can't see because you're looking at the computer, but about 10 feet that way. I've got a big easel that I put big paintings on, and I have not broadcast on Twitch on my big easel yet. So when I do, that will be kind of neat. So we'll make an event out of it, and I will be painting on some of those. Probably Madonna of the Wasps first, because that is a big painting that I've had planned for many years.
Many years.
Yes, many years. And I'm excited for that. And Matt made a cool picture frame for it. One of the times we broadcast from our reunion house here in Florida, it sounds like I have a lot of studios. I promise you it's not as fancy as it sounds, is it, Maddie?
No.
It is not as fancy as it sounds. But I have another studio here in Florida, and it is, I think we showed off the frame on one of our Twitch broadcasts that Matt made for it. And it's like an altarpiece sort of medieval frame that he cut out of wood and made by hand. So that will be the frame for it. And that will be probably the first one I'll be working on when we get back here in August. In the meantime, in Kansas City, I'll be working on probably this painting or some other smaller paintings in the meantime.
Good.
And we had our giveaway, so I'm gonna run up real quick to the bathroom, and I'm gonna also check on those pastel pencils and see what they're called, and I'll grab a kitty if I can too to show one off.
Okay,
why not?
Grab a kitty. Yeah. When she start the third ninja in her ninja series?
Oh, that will probably be August also.
I see. When is she?
Yeah.
Got it.
I'll do that here.
Okie doke. Ever come up towards Wisconsin? Not professionally, no. But you're welcome to come see us at any of our events. I said they're welcome to come see us at any of our events. Cool, Nigel. Really? All 3 kitties are being cute on our bed. Then, what do you see at the portrait gallery, Shaylee? Saw a painting recently. Portrait gallery in London that reminded me of. Oh, I see it. Dress of Sinners, Dress of Saints. Do you remember the name of the piece? Portrait gallery? Usually they're not as composed. It's usually straight on portraits, but sometimes they do have people in odd positions. Just wondering which piece it was. The portrait gallery. The National Portrait Gallery is amazing, by the way. If you guys have ever been to London, definitely stop there. It's attached to the National Gallery, but it has its own thing going on. I would definitely check it out, especially if you're into history. Oh, night, Leela. Awake for 19 hours. Oh my gosh. That's a long, long time. I don't recommend that to anyone. It was in the same hall as the famous Anne Boleyn and Elizabeth pieces. Very cool. Very cool. So it's in the very first part, like when you go up the stairs and you see King Henry and all that. It's just shortly after that. Jasmine.
Yeah.
Shaylee said she saw a piece that kind of reminded her of Saints and Sinners.
Oh.
It's in the National Portrait Gallery. She said it was in the same.
London.
Yeah, same hall as the famous Anne Boleyn and Elizabeth pieces.
Oh, really? Oh,
So it's in that first part.
oh gosh, I wonder if I've seen it. Well, some of the character. Oh, here's Sunshine, by the way. For those who don't know, she's half asleep. But I'm trying to think where some of the little demons and angels that are in that painting are from an altarpiece, but I don't think it's in I think it's at the Prado. I forget. It's kind of a combination of a few different.
We love the National Gallery and
I
National
love the
Portrait Gallery.
National Gallery and the National Portrait Gallery.
Yeah, Shaylee says,
poor
which is why I
Sunshine.
visited. Haha, you know it entirely, Matt. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
I like that place.
I don't know how many times I've been in the National Portrait Gallery. And since it's a little bit tinier.
Well, sometimes we'll be there and we're just like gonna go see a show or something, you know.
Oh, definitely.
And
It's
we're like, hey, we have 20 minutes. Let's go to the gallery.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ricky, definitely see the National Gallery. I also recommend the Wallace collection. That's fantastic also. What's that strange antiquities? John Sloan?
Oh, yeah.
John Soane's?
Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
It's
it always confuses me. Yeah, the John Soane's Museum, I think it is.
It's called the House or the House.
But it just filled with curios and antiquities and strange architecture. It's amazing. And it has a weird specific path you have to go through.
Okay, it's D''ACHE. Karan Da'ach. I don't know. I'm probably saying it wrong. These are the pastels that I use when I do color roughs and pastels. CARAND''ACHE. Pastel pencils. They're from Switzerland. They're not French. They're Swiss. But anyways, these are what I use when I draw color roughs and things on pastels. And I use these little stump things that are. But this is not for this painting here. This is when I'm working on paper. I'll probably have a bunch of those if you guys really want those. We'll probably put them up in the Patreon store or whatever.
Hockey says, when I lived in Florida, I was close to the Dolly Museum and kicked myself every day for not seeing it. Dolly is one of my deepest inspirations.
I love that place so much. Like that gallery, man.
Oh, I love it. It's pretty cool. I didn't realize his pieces were so insanely large until I went there. Yeah, they're just huge. But no, he's a neat guy. He's a huge inspiration. Gosh, nearly every artist I talk to.
Definitely me. My dad gave me a couple of his books, Salvador Dali books, when I was a teenager that left a big impression on me. Including The Secret Confessions, if nobody's read that. That's
excellent. And they sell that at the bookstore.
Yeah, they do. They sell that one, and they sell the what is it? I forget how many. 38.
50?
The 50 Secrets of Magical
be
Painting.
wrong.
I forget the name of it. But yeah.
One
The
is
Secret Confessions is pretty out there.
Your name has to be Salvador.
Yeah. He always talks about The Secret of Naples Yellow, though, and I'm a big fan of Naples Yellow. I've talked about that already. No, he was a very odd person, though.
He had a sense of humor, though.
He did. He had a theatrical sense of shameless self-promotion that probably would have done him well in this kind of Instagram age of stuff, you know?
Probably.
He probably would have done good with that.
He knew about being larger than life.
Yeah. I felt bad for him when he was older, though, and he had people making him sign his name on everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, that'll happen to me eventually.
No.
No, I won't ever get older.
When is she starting the third ninja painting in the ninja series?
I know we will have the painting itself at DragonCon, so DragonCon is Labor Day weekend. It'll probably take me a couple of weeks to get the painting laid out and finished, and So if I were to guess, it would be in mid or early August. And I will definitely work on that up here at Twitch, since I know a lot of DragonCon people are up here. We are getting ready to leave for Kansas City, well, tomorrow / 2 days from now.
Yeah.
We have a caravan of animals, and it's a traveling circus, basically.
Basically, yeah, it's a circus.
Uncle Matt's traveling cat show, yes.
Type,
but, yeah. But we're going to be in our Kansas City studio for a while in, July, and then August we are in our UK place for a bit, and then here probably the second week of August.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I have to be in California for the Haunted Mansion thingy.
Yeah,
that's the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and probably a couple days after. So yeah, probably the second week of August I would be working on that here in Florida.
Shaylee says, I think I have taken about 3 book recommendations from tonight's Twitch.
Oh, yay!
If anything, this is an artistic book club.
Hey, I like that. I like the idea of a book club that has to do with art.
Very cool.
My sisters and their various family and friends in Kansas City have a book club that I go to sometimes, but I'm not there very often. But it usually doesn't have to do with artwork, so I like that.
Tigger asked, what is the theme for the new ninja painting?
Let's see. I've created 6 different statues of the Ninja Dragonlings, and 4 of them have been in paintings. We've done groups of 2, so it will be the final 2 ones. I'm trying to think of, they're all kind of
elemental
themed. One is Earth, I believe. I'll have to look up and make sure what their names are. There's an Earth one and a not Lightning. We already did Lightning. That was Hotaru. Earth and is it Ice? I forget. I will definitely let you know. But it is basically we have 6 statues I designed. I did in 3 groups of 2, and we are doing the last group of 2. And that will be for DragonCon. And I'm hoping to, if I have time, here's hoping to do a line art for it so I can do a pin design that could be one of the DragonCon pins, because I like to do special pins at DragonCon. I want to do one that is a dice themed one also. I don't know if I'll have time to do the full painting, but
nerdy stuff.
What's that, baby?
Nerdy stuff.
Yes,
ninjas and dice.
DragonCon. It's, ninjas and dragons and dice. Yeah, there you go.
Situation sounds kind of dicey.
It's a bit dicey. Actually, one of them will be probably a variant on the baby red dragon pin, but I want it to be for DragonCon, so it'll be the purple and gold colors that they have there. Oh shoot, we haven't even talked about him, Maddie.
Oh, well.
That starts tonight.
Yes.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, wow, we are not on the ball, are we?
No.
Okay. Okay. So, I like to talk about pins. Tonight, depending where you're at, when it turns from June into July, if you place an order at strangeling.com, every year we do a pin that is an anniversary pin, which means we give it to you for free, as long as, I think it's $25 or more.
Yes, $25 or more.
In your shopping cart before you check out, or whatever it is. You get a free red dragon pin, and that's the only baby red dragon. He's a baby, and he's so cute. A lot of baby animals talk here, but he's a little honey cat. I love him. But he will go in your shopping cart. It won't show up in your shopping cart. We will put it in your package when we are mailing it, starting tonight, like within 5 hours. If you place an order at strangeling.com, and there is no limit on how many of these you can get until we run out of them. I don't know when we will run out of them. Please do not ask me. Yes.
We did.
I did my best. I based it off last year and the year before and all that.
I think we got enough for everyone.
I hope so. If not, I apologize, but we're going to do our best. So if you really want one of these guys, they are free. We'll stick them, and if you buy a book or a cup of prints or a pen or anything that is $25 or more, you will get this one with, like, if you place your order in 6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone says if I order a limited edition painting.
Yeah. Like when the canvases. Yeah.
Which may take a little longer to ship. Will I still get a pin?
Absolutely.
If it's placed in July.
Yes. In fact, that might happen to some of you because we're going to be driving to Kansas City in the next few days, and then at the end of July we're going to be in the UK for a bit. Right. But that doesn't matter. It matters when you place the order, it's when not when we ship it. So if you place it like at midnight on July 30, let me count my knuckles. July 31st. If we're not there, yes, we will. If we still have them, we'll probably be very inclusive on time zones. Don't tell anybody, but. If it is like midnight on July 31st and it's in a different time zone, we're going to do our best. If we have them, we will send them to you.
Yeah, I won't be able to get to orders. I mean,
if you're literally driving all the cats.
Yeah, and 4th of July.
Yeah, and 4th of July, which is July is always a weird month for us because we have 2 different family reunions that happen nowhere near our house, so we have to travel a bit to get to them.
Right, so that's
how we see people, though. So.
It'll take some catching up for me because we're gonna get an initial boon of orders.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys will be there at midnight, and again, if somebody wants to be a jerk about it and order like literally 10,000 of them or something like that in the first 2 minutes, you can do that, but please don't do that. But we will talk to you in a couple days, and we will let you know it will be in there. We will make sure you have your little.
Is the pin inclusion based on Eastern time?
Yes.
Yes, but don't worry. I mean, if you did it tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., you're gonna get the pin.
You're gonna be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of these little.
Be there at midnight.
And they are so cute. They're metal and enamel, and I've kept the mold for those of you who are collectors. I've kept the mold for this, and I want to use the same mold to make a Dragon Con one that is purple and gold to match the Dragon Con colors. So. But as far as the little baby red dragon, he is part of the 22nd anniversary of Strangeling.com. Because I have had that website for 22 years come this July, like tomorrow, basically. I think it was actually like the day before 4th of July. I forget what day it was. Remember you and Chris were there? When I set up the website, Strangeling.com?
Gosh, I think so, upstairs.
Yeah, no, it's downstairs.
Oh.
Yeah, at my dad's house, yeah.
Black Orchid Fairy says, has it have to probably be $25 after the Patreon discount?
Yes, because the computer does it, I don't. The computer, basically, when you're checking out, before shipping costs, if it says $25 even, you're good. If it says $24.99, it goes into a different queue. So it has to be that. If you do have a Patreon discount and it's right at $25, I would say make sure it's at least $25 without.
Right.
I would give up the discount.
The Canvas Cutie.
You would save $2 and you'd get a free pin. I would go that route. If it's really, if you're on a budget and you're really trying to weigh it out, I would say ignore the discount and just get the free pin. But
if you're that close.
Yeah, if it's that close, it depends.
So the discount.
Yeah.
If you want the pin, let's say you had $25 in your cart, use the 10% off. That take you to $22.50. That wouldn't be a pin.
That's the problem with having a computer do it as opposed to a person, because it'd be like, oh, that's close enough, but I don't see that part. I see it after it goes through the computer and comes in through our order queue. But you can use your discount if you want to buy lots of things, or you can. There isn't a limit, so if you want to buy it as 2 separate orders, there is no limit. You could do it on Wednesday and do it again on Friday. It doesn't matter.
Gotcha. Shaylee says she found the painting. She thought she was the painting that reminded me of Saints.
Which one is it?
Sir Henry Unton.
Oh.
And was painted in 1596.
Oh! That was part of. Remember when they had the special thing? I forget what it was called. It was a Tudor extravaganza or whatever they called it. That was at the National Portrait Gallery. Remember that, Maddie? And they had a bunch of extra portraits that were from some of the grand houses of
I see what
the
she
UK.
means.
Yeah.
It's the layout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's we know this one.
I think it was there. I think it was there for like a year when they had the.
Yeah, I know that.
Painting. I think it was
the
Elizabethan age, whatever one when they had they had a bunch of different documents that weren't necessarily art related, and they had them there, and they did the X-rays of the paintings. You remember what I'm talking about, Liv?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wendy says, I was looking at the Canvas Cuties. Do you have several of each?
Yes.
They're open edition.
They are open edition, and we make them based off of what scrap materials we have. So we can print them. We have a certain amount of materials, like actual cloth and wood, but depending on what pictures people want, we can make them on those. If that makes sense. So if somebody wanted like 10 of one of them, we could do that as long as we had enough wood and enough leftover canvas scraps. That would be fine. Taking a bit of purple and putting that in the same color I was using to do the line art on this, and making that into the darker areas, like around his pupils here and the pupils of her here. If you look really closely, like the pupils in her eyes, they're kind of shaped a bit like the elephant that is next to her.
That's really cute.
In his pupils, they kind of look like a heart shape, but it's kind of meant to look like her, as if her arm was kind of held up like this, so it kind of makes like a V shape or a heart shape. So it's kind of reflecting the stuff that's around them. And then once I put some color on here, I will probably put little bits of green around the edges because there's going to be some green plants. I might put some pretty flowers in there, and the flowers will, in their own turn, have little reflections in their eyes. I like the eyes of my characters to genuinely reflect the things around them because that's what eyes do. Sounds like bad grammar, but that is what eyes do.
Very much so. Jeb says, can you do the purple ninjas as a canvas cutie? That's Ninja Dragonlings too.
Oh,
that doesn't work very well.
I could do, but it would kind of cut off their feet or cut off their heads. So yeah. When you have a rectangular painting, just put your fingers in a square like that and look over it from far away and see what parts of it get cut off. And if both of them are missing their heads or they're all missing their legs, it's kind of weird. And I probably wouldn't make one if it's missing either their heads or their legs. Because they're ninjas, they gotta kick people.
They gotta kick people and they gotta think about it.
Yeah, I'm using some of the darker color that I had drawn in the pupils with to make shadows underneath their eyes. If you are a small person as this tiny elephant, of course he's probably like 4 feet tall because he's a baby elephant, and you have eyes that big, his eyes are probably like this big if you were to think about him in real life. I try not to think about them in real life as much because it would probably look super creepy. But I am putting a bit of a shadow underneath there because if his eyes really look three-dimensional, if you saw like a, I don't know, like a crystal ball that size, it would probably have a shadow underneath it. So I'm putting a bit of a shadow under there, and I'm doing the same thing under her eyes. So even though she and the elephant do not have the same sort of craniofacial, bone structure, I want their eyes to look similar, and that will help tie them together as friends.
Shaylee wishes the elephant was creepy.
He might be creepy. We don't know.
I like to think of him as a cute little guy.
I think he is a cute little guy. You can be a cute little guy and be creepy. Elephants. Again, he's got a long life ahead of him if he's an elephant.
Aki says they did a marble statue bust of a woman's head for their stepdad when they were in their early 20s.
Oh.
That sounds ominous.
It does, yeah. Put a bit of a shade on the other side of her fingers too, so it looks like when she's holding onto the trunk, like it's actually a three-dimensional sort of hose thing. It's not like a picture of a trunk. It's actually an elephant's trunk there. Make her thumb a bit shorter too. If you look at your hand, you will see your thumb is, or on my weird little hands at least, your thumb is a lot shorter than your other fingers.
It definitely is.
So I want to make sure, that's an easy mistake to make when you're drawing hands, to make all your fingers the same length. They genuinely aren't usually, but they might be. If so, that might be very, I don't know, might look very aesthetically pleasing if they are, but mine aren't, so a lot of my characters aren't either. I don't want to put a whole lot of eyelashes on my elephant here. I don't want him to look like he's wearing eye makeup, really, but elephants do have, I think we talked about this last time, about how elephants cry a bit.
Aw, that's sweet.
It's I don't know if it's sweet.
I
It's
think
usually
it's pretty.
It's usually bachelor troop elephants that are gone a bit rogue and their eyes start crying when they're looking for lady elephants.
Well, it's still.
But yeah.
Darn it, Jasmine.
I'm sorry. I read
still
everything for everybody.
Yeah.
No, well, that time the elephants were bothering me when I was camping by myself in Africa, and Matt wasn't there. I was like texting him, and he's here in Florida. And Matt's like, "Why don't you go hide in the bathtub?" And I was like, "The bathtub is outside."
That was a good idea.
And
I didn't know the layout.
The bathtub was outside.
What happened to the bathtub the day before?
Huh?
What happened to the bathtub the day before? The monkey came?
Oh, well, Monkey came every morning and peed in it, if that's what you were talking about. That was
I just think about this.
That's awful.
I just think about...
It was a very classy bathtub other than that.
No, you showed me pictures. It looked like
it looked like a jacuzzi, but it's like, yes, there are...
But I think about this monkey. Yeah. He saw you checking in with your suitcase. Is like, I'm going to see where she's staying. Every day I'm going to piss in her tub.
Remember when it's funny because you saw the other side of it, because I had tried to text you, and I was in Botswana.
It was amazing.
I was in South Africa.
Texting
it was lovely. But no, before the problem with the elephants, I had texted you, somebody is watching me take a shower, and I put a scared face in a text, right? And I took a picture of a little monkey that was peeking around the corner. And it didn't send the picture, but it only sent the text. And then Matt just sent me a thumbs up. I'm like, somebody is watching me take a shower, worried face, thumbs up. And that was it.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was a monkey that was looking around the corner. I took a picture of it, but it didn't upload it because of my data plan or whatever. So it's like, you didn't see the lizard or the monkey that was watching me take the shower. You just said it's fine that somebody's watching me take a shower.
I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
It's on my text if you look back on my phone.
No, I don't want to look back.
Nobody wants to look that far on their phone. You could say it with impunity.
Monkey pee is good for the pores, says April.
Oh, depends on the monkey, but yeah.
I remember in Costa Rica they had a
outdoor bathrooms there.
Outdoor shower.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun because you could be outside. Mm-hmm. And you could be taking a shower, and the toucans could come and watch you. Yeah. Or the howler monkeys.
Oh, the howler monkeys. They like waking up about 3:50
They're one of my favorite animals.
Being very noisy. And I love them. Yeah, they're one of my favorite animals, too. I like them.
The slightest bit of daylight, and those howler monkeys just start doing their scary noises.
Oh, and they're terrifying. If you are not used to, I don't know if anybody in the room has been around wild howler monkeys for any length of time, but oh my gosh, yeah, they are.
The way they hold their mouth open and their throat vibrates. It's amazing.
Prehistorically terrifying.
But they're actually kind of cool.
I love them. Sweeties. No, they're honeys. Yeah, they're actually friends with a lot of the other monkeys that live around there too.
Yeah, howler monkeys rock.
I like them.
But yeah, they are the alarm for the Osa Peninsula.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you live there, that's how you wake up, is from howler monkeys. It doesn't matter where you live at. Yeah.
Southern part would be the Pacific side.
Yeah, it would be the northern of the two Pacific side peninsulas that are in the Costa Rica official region currently.
But yeah, it's Osa Peninsula, and I would definitely recommend it.
Oh, that's lovely there. It's some of the least built up areas of Costa Rica you go to.
Right. Yeah. When you land in Costa Rica, you'll land in if you fly there, you'll land in a very modern city. And then you just start traveling out. We took the little plane.
Oh, you take the little Indiana Jones planes that was like it had duct tape holding it together. It was pretty great.
Remember how they weighed us? Didn't it have a tree frog on it?
Oh, ours had a tree frog. They all had different animals that they had local artists paint on top of on the actual planes that you went out there. But yeah, they weigh. I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea.
I think it's good.
But
I think this.
I think it's good because they don't weigh much, but they make you stand on a scale with all your stuff. Like, let's say you have a backpack and a purse and a suitcase and a bottle of water.
Weigh under a certain amount.
You stand on a scale and it weighs you and all your stuff, and that's how you get on the airplane. And that's why I was thinking it would, in a way, it would be kind of be good, because if you are a smaller person and you don't have a lot of stuff, you're like, hey, I got 2 pairs of shoes, I'm fine, sort of thing, and got my contact lenses and whatever. They would weigh you and all your stuff.
Right, and then they tell you where to sit on the plane, so it stays balanced. Like I did.
These are very small airplanes. It isn't the sort of thing that there's a pilot and a person who might be kind of training to be a pilot. Other than that,
look like an island hopper, a sort of.
Yeah, if you've been in Florida and you've been an island hopper that has chickens on the same airplane in the same cabinet area as you are, that is kind of like.
And what was the cute little city that we landed in Costa Rica? I don't remember the name of the city.
Oh, that would be Sun. Oh wait, no.
They had a neat grocery store.
They did have a good grocery store. Oh shoot, I should know this. I've been there a couple times.
It was a while back.
It wasn't that long ago. I've been there twice. I'll think on it. I'll remember.
Anyway, I recommend it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we recommend that.
The beach is beautiful.
Yeah, nobody was there.
The jungle is amazing.
It was so natural. It's so weird to see places like that have not had a billion condos built on it or something.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing.
Well, I don't know if it's depressing. It's just how things are.
But that's the unfortunately that's the most south I've been on this in the North South America thing. I guess that's just Central America. It's not even South America yet.
That's not true, babe. You've been to Guatemala. You've been right by Guatemala and stuff.
Belize, I think Belize. Am I wrong? Isn't Belize north of Costa Rica?
Costa Rica is very long. That's why it's a coast. It's
but
a
I think
coast.
I was at Belize, but I think that's north.
Belize, yeah. I'm trying to think. We were I've been on the Guatemalan border before. Remember, I was like, hey, look, on that side of the street it's Guatemala. On this side of the street it's not.
It's kind of like break dancing in the Four Corners.
I've not done that.
No, but I've
been in the Four Corners probably 12 times, but I've not breakdanced there.
I can stand in 4 states at once.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they could have put 15 states there if they pie wedged them. Just to say that you could be in 15 states at once.
It's true. It's like if you look at longitude lines when you're on the North Pole or the South Pole.
Right.
Oh, look at you, grumpy little cute mouth. Isn't he adorable? I love him. Aww. Now she looks worried. I don't know.
Don't make him.
Don't want to. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I know.
Christy's going to Belize next week on a cruise.
Oh, Belize is
Have
lovely.
Fun. And do an excursion, climb up a pyramid. Have fun.
Ooh, you can go to Zunatunik. That's beautiful.
Zunatunik. That's a good one.
Yeah. Be careful climbing.
Book it through your cruise ship and not through the coast. Just it might cost a little bit more, but I would recommend booking it through your cruise ship because then they won't leave you.
If you are really doing a thing where you are going like on a bus or taking a local cab or something around there, I would say either overestimate your travel time times 2 or book it through your travel agent.
If you book it through your cruise, if you're able to,
they won't leave until you're there, even if you're 2 hours late, Manny.
Because they'll have record of you. We were late that one time.
We were late, yes. I know what time you're talking.
I could tell people on the balcony were grumpy at us. What was the excursion? I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Which excursion was it?
Was it when we went to San Ignacio. Huh?
San Ignacio?
Uh-huh. Yeah. And we had lunch there with the extemporaneous xylophone, wooden xylophone.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, that was
great.
Pretty great, actually.
Christy says we booked a cave tubing.
Oh, cave tubing, yes.
That's a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know if you can go. If you are tubing and you are in Belize, that is a place to be.
Howler monkeys might sing in the little cave and might scare the tar out of you. It'll sound
what you're talking about there too.
Zombies.
That's kind of
And it's all dark.
Yeah, if you
monkeys.
Yeah. But no, Belize is a beautiful place to go tubing at.
Tube.
Because of scary monkeys, not anything else. Belize, the people there are so nice.
We found a very nice eco park one time on a cruise called Xcaret.
Oh, that's in Mexico.
But I was thinking about cave.
Oh, that's some good cave tubing. They've got a lot of underground rivers, and I am a person who is kind of claustrophobic. I'd say I don't like going in caves, but I seem to do it a lot.
This one's pretty wide, though.
Yeah, that one's pretty wide, and you can you don't even need like an inner tube. You could just wear like the vest that you wear when you go on little boats.
Right,
like a life vest.
You can just kick your feet and go along with the current.
And you can go under like a lot of the rock formations. But if you're stuck in there and you're underwater, it's kind of scary. But if you can go,
no, it's safe enough. And there's people that it's like a really, really awesome giant natural made lazy river.
It is. Oh, well, a lot of the Yucatan Peninsula is all
springy, huh? Is that all just?
It's all cenotes. It's all kind of under. It's what is it? It's not quartzite. I forget. Is that sunshine getting into something there? Sorry. Has nothing to do with the Yucatan Peninsula, but I think sunshine's getting in trouble there.
Anyway, you'll love cave diving.
Yeah, that's beautiful too.
It's so much fun. We need to do that again, Jasmine.
Yeah, I like going. There's something terrifying about underground rivers, but it's also kind of awesome.
We went kayaking. Our most recent one was kayaking. That's the last time I think we did a water sportish thing.
Like officially, like with California doesn't count. Like different countries wise, in Vietnam, we went to in Helen Bay. We went kayaking.
Amazing.
They have monkeys there too, don't they, Manny?
Those are sweet little monkeys.
They're honeys.
Not that howler monkeys aren't.
Howler monkeys are lovely. They just make a lot of terrifying noise when you don't expect that.
My dad used to take me caving and potholing as a kid. Loved it. What is potholing?
Potholes are kind of like
Those are what we call
like a cenote,
or like a
blue hole, like a cenote.
Oh,
yeah, that's like a cenote. I think. I don't know. They would probably know more than I would. Outlining the area of the inner part of his ear, just so I can define this separately than the outer part of his ear here. You know how if you look at your own ears, one part of it is the outside of your ear, the other part's the inside of the ear with all the wiggly bits.
I'm touching my ear right now.
Yeah, see?
I bet you a lot of people out there listening to this are touching their ear.
But if they are listening, they are. But you kind of have wiggly bits that I'm going to be not probably, I don't know, anatomically correct as far as baby elephants go. I'm going to randomly swirl things around, kind of like it's a watercolor, just based on like a giant human ear, kind of, because elephants do have a lot of similar bits to people. Which is why I'm doing things like making the eye look a little bit more human than a baby elephants. If you look at them, I have a picture where I stuck them.
They're adorable. If you look at them,
their eyes are, they have very, very cute eyes, but their eyes aren't super big.
No, I guess elephants don't have really big eyes for how
large
a beast
small,
they are.
Really. Here's the one I took in India with this little fella here. He's
Where
got
was
very
that?
soulful eyes. What's that?
Where was that? Where
It's outside the Red Fort. In Rajasthan.
Oh,
It's where I got that cool skirt that has all the mirrors on it. You know, that one.
I think that's where we bought that sculpture too, right? The wood sculpture.
That was in Jaipur, wasn't it?
I don't remember anymore.
I forget. But anyway, so I'm making kind of a darker area on the inside part of this ear, and the other ear, it's going to be like the outside part of his ear. So it's going to be just like solid, probably gray. When I do get to the point where I'm going to put somebody asked about fun colors, I will probably put some pink and more human fleshy tones on the areas that are turning into gray based off of the small study sketch that I did last weekend. Again, this is not it. I think we've actually probably mailed off that one, but this is a printout I just did on my silly computer downstairs.
Amy asked, will there be a monkey painting?
Well, there are some already, but there will probably be more. They're one of my favorite animals.
We were talking about howler.
I love monkeys. One of my favorite animals.
What were the 4 different monkeys in Costa Rica? There's a howler monkey,
a couple spider monkeys,
Can I remember?
woolly monkey. Is there a woolly monkey?
I don't think it's woolly.
Okay.
Oh, Kaza got to see Metallica live.
There's a lot of concerts happening now, isn't there?
Yeah. Hope you had a good time. That's cool. Aki says, are you going to do more Alice paintings? Gosh, Jasmine.
I probably will. I probably won't in the very near future because I do have my Alice in Wonderland coloring book coming out, and I think it's got around 60 pictures in it. So that's been a lot of Alice for a long time, which is great. And I could paint Alice every day and probably never get bored. I can find a different take on it. But I don't have any specific ones for the very near future, but I'm sure during my lifetime I'll probably paint 200 more of them.
What's your show?
September 7th.
Yeah, September
7th at Disney Springs here in Florida at Disney World. That will be the debut for the Alice in Wonderland coloring book. Right now, it might look like I'm doing the same thing over and over again, but what I'm doing is very thin layers of watered down blue, gray, violet, and Van Dyke brown eyelashes. Even on the, I was saying I didn't want the elephant to have eyelashes. I want it to have a shadow around his eye as if his eyes match hers, but I want hers to actually look like she's got fancy eyelashes or mascara or something on. And the little, he's looking more vampiric every time I paint him. He won't in the end. He's gonna look adorable.
He's gonna have huge fangs.
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah, they're gonna be called ivory. Yeah. I guess those aren't fangs, are they?
Oh, the elephant's tusks.
Yeah, the elephant's tusks are scary enough. They're sharp.
Have you decided on a pop gallery pin?
Oh, for the Alice show.
Yeah.
Is that what they're asking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't yet. I have 4 different ones. Maybe I'll make people vote or something. I don't know. I've got 4 different ones I'm going in between for the Alice coloring book special pin that we're going to be doing at the Pop Gallery. That will be for the first 200 people. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's Disney World. They get a lot of people there. We will have some sort of Alice pin that they'll just be handing out. If you buy anything, doesn't matter how much it is, you will be, if it's Jasmine related, you can't just like buy a, I don't know, a pencil or whatever. Yeah, coffee cup that has nothing to do with me. It has to be something Jasmine related, and then they will give you a free pin. And they'll start that, I think, around 4 o'clock on September 7th. I don't get there until the 6th, or 6 o'clock. Yeah, I think, right?
Yes, I think that's.
I think I'm there from 6 till 9. Yeah. Okay. But
So
yeah.
Mike Clay likes the elephant's expression.
Yeah, he's cute. I like him too.
And that Nintendo guy says, rocking the Van Dyke Brown.
Yes. I always am. I like the Van Dyke Brown.
I like the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah.
Not
People
bad.
do.
Actually, for its time,
Do
it was
you
pretty
like Mary
clever.
Tyler Moore? She's in that.
Mary Tyler Moore?
No, not her
Okay.
show. I mean the actress. Though.
Oh, sure. Yeah, why not?
She did a lot of things for animal rights.
Yay. Then I like her even
She was
more.
a Doris Day, if you will.
Yeah, Doris Day passed away a few weeks ago at the
Yeah, I
age
know. Last
of
month.
300 million.
What's it?
I think she was 300 million years old.
No, I think she was like 94, wasn't she?
That's amazing.
Oh, okay.
That
That's
is so
pretty
cool.
good. She lived longer than Terry Melcher. Her son.
Any news on when the Faces of Fairy pins will debut?
We're hoping for the next couple weeks, but don't hold me to it. I had to kind of change the shipping, so it would make sure that they would get to me in Kansas City, so I could put them on the little backing boards in Kansas so we could ship them out, because we're going to be in Kansas for the next 4 weeks, so I had to make sure to reroute those. So I am crossing my fingers, but hoping for the next couple weeks, and I will let you guys know. And if you don't know what they're talking about, I will show you what they're talking about, because I've got a printout. Not the best printout, but this is theoretically what they will look like. These are different than, you know how usually my pins are like, I'll show you one of the actual pins that are soft enamel that have a mold that is metal and has different colors poured into it that are kind of bumpy. If you were to touch it, it's all solid colors, like a stained glass window. These ones here will be full color. This is a piece of paper. It's not what they actually look like, but they will be full color, and they will be smooth metal. Those of you, and I'm guessing maybe at least a few of you, I don't know if I have one, but if you remember my Porcelina pins that I did around this time last year at the Corey Helfer Gallery that were smooth enamel that you could touch and were not bumpy, because they were actually embedded, the dye was embedded into the metal, and it was a smooth metal, and the back is kind of like silver instead of black. We're going to start doing some square ones so we can do the Faces of Fairy, because I've done so many paintings that are just faces, and I don't want to cut them down to 4 colors. If I ever do that, like turn these characters into this, they'd look like the same thing over and over again. So I want them to have the realism and the shading and everything that I had in the original paintings. And they will be little squares, and I'm going to do, this will be the first set of them. They're going to be limited edition, I think, it says here, 250 of each set of 4. And those will be hopefully within the next couple weeks. And as soon as we know, I promise, I will let you know, because it means more that you guys know than I know, really.
Thank you so much, Tammy.
Was that the magic noise I just heard? Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it.
But these are big versions of the little square metal smooth ones. There's the one of the pug doggy. I love that one. And this one, if you can tell, the theme is little animal friends. So there's one that's got a baby sea turtle, which is happening right now in Florida. You Florida people probably know, but the baby sea turtles are all hatching right now, and people are kind of shepherding them to the ocean. There's a little doggy, and here's a little tree frog, and this one got a little butt kitty cat like my Asriel. And these will be 4 little pins that will come together, and I think it's only $30-something for all 4 of them. And if people like these, I will continue to make them with my other Faces of Fairy, or also not just Faces of Fairy, but maybe some of the tiny treasures I've done that are. Somebody was asking earlier about like the small paintings, if I would use them for anything. If they're going to be like 1 inch big, then I could do that with pretty much any painting I've done, because I don't think I've done a painting that is smaller than 1 inch big, have I? What was that little one I did for Trickell, the paint company thing?
I don't know.
With Sugarfield. It was like a little tiny. It was like on a Scrabble. It was almost like a Scrabble tile. Yeah, was it a Scrabble tile? I forget. It was tiny. That's like the smallest painting I think I've ever done. So I could do pretty much any of my paintings as those sort of pins, because they have all the colors in them. I don't have to cut them down to 1 color.
About 10 minutes to raffle.
Oh, okay. But assuming I do finish those, though, I'm talking to pin people here. If I finish them in July, and they are all done, I popped them all in their bags and on their backing boards and everything. If they are all done in July, then if they are $30-something, that means you get a free one of these if you get them from Strangeling.com, which is the only place you can get them, and I will let you know, and it might even be the next week or 2. And then you get one of these free little fellas, and they are so cute. They want kisses. It's like having Sunshine, but she ran away. I'll start putting some darker areas in the background here, just to make some kind of hints. It's gonna sound very Bob Rossy now. It's gonna be like, hey, if there was a tree there, this is kind of the direction it's going in. Like I said, though, I want it to be very clear in the painting that as a outdoor scene. I don't want it to look like she's keeping an elephant as an illegal pet or something. He's there.
A happy little cloud. It's your world.
A happy little cloud.
About 10 minutes to raffle.
Diagonals here. And the last one is that one for the it's for a pen, right? Is it for the
at the easel?
At the easel. Where'd I put her? Did you grab her?
You showed her earlier, so you.
Yeah. Did you?
I don't know where she went.
Okay. Thought you grabbed her. Interesting.
Don't know.
I don't know either. We've lost the at the easel pen. No, we'll find her.
We'll find her.
If I have to, I'll give you mine because I have one. But
I don't.
Okay, I thought you grabbed her and kind of went up there. Okay. Okay.
No, I gave her to you long ago.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was something. She's probably under the journals. Oh wait, is that her?
Looks like.
Yeah, that's her. She is under the journals. Yay.
She was reading. She was writing.
She was obviously painting. Look at her. Jeez. Okay. Here's at the easel, and she is painting. And somebody will win her in a few minutes. She was one that was for Planet Comic Con in Kansas City. That was a special one that we've only had there. We had them. Did we have them every day there? I don't remember what we did at Planet Comic Con.
I don't remember.
All these things kind of blur together. I kind of show up and sign my name over and over again like Bart Simpson a billion times in punishment. No, just kidding. Because
Brenda says, I love at the easel because it's Jasmine.
Oh, thank you. Making the iris around his pupil here a bit bigger because if you look at little elephants, which is part of the reason why I have all the photos of them here, they don't really have a whole lot of white, like the cornea of their eye showing. They're mostly, you see a little bit of the cornea of their eye, more so than grown-up elephants. Grown-up elephants, you see a bunch of kind of gray, brown, pink skin, and then they've got like a black eye, and that's pretty much all iris. If you look at the baby elephants, they have a little bit of a blue cornea around their eye, which makes them look like a baby, but you don't want to show too much of the cornea of the eye, otherwise it looks too much like a person. And which is kind of neat depending on what sort of art you're doing. If you're making artwork and you're wanting the eye to look very humanoid, it can be very unsettling and kind of cool in a creepy way. But on this little fella, I don't want his eyes to look just like hers. I don't want it to look like I copy-pasted an eye there. Yeah.
Is a squirrel attacking?
I don't know. I was going to say something, but yeah, some animals at the window here, so
I'm going to try to peek.
Knock yourself out, or don't, but yeah, have fun. Who's there? I think it's a mourning dove that doesn't know about the mourning dove. Is it a mourning dove? Yeah. Okay. They're the dum-dums of the pigeon world, I think. I don't know. Those poor babies.
She has little, iridescence and green around her eye.
Oh, yeah, they have beautiful little pink purple on their neck, and they have green around their eye.
Oh,
so lovely.
What I was looking at is what are those things called? The window
hangout.
Yeah, hangouts.
Yeah, they're called acrylic hangouts. They're like a clear thing. You stick with suction cups to your window, and you can see birdies if they're having a nest, or if you put food in it, and you can see it. And our cats love it. A Gamera loves it, at least. And actually, all three of them do. They will see the birds right there on the window, and the birds think you can't see them because it's like not see-through on their side. So it looks like there's glass in between it, and it's very cute. But you can see the birdies kind of hanging out and eating little, hence the name, eating little, sunflower seeds and making a little crappy nest.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. So, Jasmine and I both we're very fond of birds.
Yeah, we're birding people. I like birds.
On a scale of 1 to 10, we're 8-ish. Maybe 7.5.
I would say.
Because there's some people that are really...
I'm probably an 8. I mean, I don't build my life around birds, but
the thing is, I've started to make plans to do that though. I was like, I should have.
That's how you can tell you're getting older.
It's true. I'm
going to retire soon. I'm going to start watching birds. Well, to be fair, in Florida, we are part of the great birding trail through here, so we get a lot of birds that come up from South America, from Brazil, from Europe, and so we are kind of. Where a lot of birds from all over the world will be here at least for a week.
Tammy says I'll be a 10 the older I get.
So,
I mean,
I love birdies.
One of the best pastimes a human can have
is
watching
it's
birds.
Something that you can't really control. They kind of land in your yard and you don't have any say about it. It's like, it's like being in the middle of the ocean. You don't know what's going to show up. It's like Deep Space Nine instead of Next Generation. You're by a black hole and you don't know what's going to be coming. And birds here in Florida, you don't know. It could be a bird that's wintering from Brazil. It could be somebody summering from Europe. You don't know. So you see a lot of really neat birds.
Hockey says it's fishing for them. I understand the serenity.
You never know. You pull it up and you're like, what is it?
Yeah, what is that?
Who knows?
It's kind of a serene situation.
Yeah.
You know what? Another thing that we found out by reading the work habits of all these people. I forget what the name of that book was.
I read the one that the sequel they did that was all women too. I thought that was interesting.
Well, I hadn't read that.
That's an interesting.
I'd actually like to check that one out.
It's more specific, but yeah.
But remember how many people like to go watch cows eat?
Watch cows eat grass. Yes, that is something that creative people like to do. I think it's like a Zen sort of. I don't know.
I stood on a pheasant by accident the other week.
What was
while cutting my grass.
What happened?
Pheasant in my face.
Oh wow! Yeah, they will. That's kind of like how the morning does.
How many pheasants did we count?
I stopped counting at 100 because I thought you wouldn't believe me.
It was up to Whippy.
Yeah, it was
One of the
going
stops in
from
Whitby.
where was that?
London to Whitby.
No,
Whitby,
on the
London?
way there. It was it starts with a D.
But so
Not
many
Dalrymple,
pheasants.
what was that?
They're beautiful birds. I love them.
Oh, they're beautiful. Yeah, they're lovely. They look like if that was the only cool bird around, it would be like, wow, look at that
Well,
one. It's like
I
seeing a
saw
peacock.
I saw one in Kansas City.
A pheasant?
Yeah, remember I saw it years
Oh,
ago.
yes, yeah.
Walking down the street.
Well,
But then-
my aunt Jean my aunt Pat used to have them.
well, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. And then I remember a few weeks back when we were in Kansas City, I heard rooster crow. I wonder
Yeah,
if they're the same people that had the pheasants once.
they might have been because the people who keep chickens. It's like how my dad has guinea fowl. Even though he raises chickens, he also has guinea fowl for the heck of it.
Aw.
They don't eat
Hertz
them.
had a
or
bird that
anything.
would fly into their bathroom window like every day.
Oh.
They finally stopped. Birds can be habitual. They can have strange habits.
Yeah.
We also noticed that about lizards.
Oh
Even
my
though they're
word.
Remarkably stupid.
It would be very difficult
they
to
sometimes
explain
have the
to
same
people
pattern.
how many lizards we have in our yard, Maddie.
I don't want to. Almost don't want to talk
I
about
don't. It's kind of yeah. It gets almost embarrassing if we talk about how many lizards
sounds
live in
like
our
you're
yard.
lying.
It sounds like we're lying, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's numbers you would only use if you're in
Well,
like
people
advanced
that-
calculus or something.
If
And
anyone's
there are
ever
high
visited,
numbers.
like an older town in Central Florida and just walk around, lizards are just running right in
They're
front
all
of you right
over,
and
yeah.
left if you take a walk.
But the ones here, I think, well,
We
here
have
in our
retail
celebration
things, too.
house, we have a lot of sidewalks around and a lot of driveways.
It's
so
warm.
a lot of the different types of anoles, Cuban anoles, striped anoles, fence lizards,
And that,
green American
various-
chameleons, anything.
And variations.
Even,
The one with red.
and yeah, there's
yeah.
a red-headed version that only lives here in our town, and they are all over. You have to be careful stepping.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to be careful. I stopped riding a bike a couple of years ago because
Yeah.
it was just getting ridiculous. It's like walking on top of a
It's hard.
pile of
Yeah.
eels. I could not
It's scary.
exaggerate it. Yeah.
But if you have a dog with you, they run away.
Yeah, if you walk a dog, I have walked neighbors' dogs like if they're out of town and it's like, hey, walk my dog. I'm like, okay. And the lizards get out of the way, but if it's just me walking around, it's like all the lizards in front of me all the
Okay,
time.
it's almost raffle
Yeah.
time. Jazz says, I get frogs in front of my door all the time.
Ah,
And Tammy says a print/pin with a Florida lizard would be cool.
I should paint one of them. I wrote a book about them many years ago. The American Chameleon. Not a good book, but
I'm sorry your phone died, Nigel. But we're almost to raffle.
oh, and this
You're
will be
here
for
and you
the
might win. Are the lizards around all year round?
Yep.
Yes, Kelly, but definitely more in the summer.
Definitely more when it's warm out. Also,
Yeah,
well, you
if
say
it-
more in the summer, but actually in the winter when it is a warm day,
A warm day,
and
they'll
there's
all
a
come
lot of
back out.
sun,
It's like
it is
winter never
like
happened.
a carpet. You don't know what part of the ground is lizard and what part of it is sidewalk. I love lizards, and they're one of my favorite animals.
Girls
so-
like swarms of lizards,
Girls
right?
do like swarms of lizards, don't they? Speaking of, a few short hours, you can get this lovely lizard. Yeah. So, this is
Right,
for
I will-
At the Easel. And I promise you I will autograph this
Hey,
before I head up.
Hockey won.
Who did?
Hockey.
Hockey? Oh,
Yeah, we've been talking to
oh,
them
hey,
like the whole time.
congratulations! Yeah, I don't think you won because you talked to us, but that's cool.
No.
Yeah.
It's just
No, it truly is random. I'm still surprised you've never won once, Matt. Aren't you kind of in it all the time?
I am in it. I'm sure there's some. I'm sure I'm not alone. I
Yeah.
bet somebody else in the room.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I've never won it. I don't even know. Do I even have a login on
No,
Twitch?
you don't join it. I
don't-
join it
Okay.
on your behalf.
Well, hopefully this should give you guys a good idea of how at least this painting is going. He's got his little front legs up there. He's gonna have his funny little elephant knees and feet. And he won't look so demonic in the finished version. He's just looking kind of snarky there. And she won't look so worried. Yeah, baby elephants don't bite people.
Everything
they're
will be fine.
darling. Yeah, and I'll have a cool frame for this if you're interested in the original. Let me
Okay,
know.
so hockey just follows those instructions.
Oh,
you're
did you
good.
post things in the
Yep.
group thingy? Okay.
Alrighty.
And we will. Is it done for the night then?
It is done.
Okay. We will see you guys a week from today, but a few short hours after that. So 4 o'clock Eastern time still. Even though we will be on Central time, it's going to be 4 o'clock Eastern time, which would be 3 o'clock Central time.
Yeah. Just come here at the same time.
Same time. Same bat place. Whatever.
All right. Catch you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.